Stand up! New York Giant fans, what is going on, Baddog?
The Giants are ruining my diet, man. You know why? Because I've been celebrating all damn week with some beer. Let's go!
I'm going to tell you what, Baddog, we were talking briefly before we went live, and I thought they were going to try to accelerate the process, and we've been saying this since we started. You mentioned it briefly. We've been saying this 2021 was going to be the year that we really started to see this team turn around. That's what we've been saying. And I thought they were going to accelerate the process this year before the pandemic hit, because you figured Daniel Jones on his third year. He's only got 3 more years under rookie control, and you got to take advantage of that while he's still on his rookie salary. And that's what I've been saying to everybody now. This is not like 2016. 2016, you had Eli Manning under a huge contract. You had a bunch of veterans on the team, and then you went out there and you signed guys to 5-year contracts. What this is, in my opinion, you're taking advantage of the rookie contract. You're trying to make this a competitive football team when you have the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl, which we all know is when your quarterback's getting paid rookie money.
Yeah, well, the difference between 2016 and this one is this one's young. I mean, the backfield is young. You know, your wide receivers are young. Your defense is young, and they signed young players, and none of them are 5-year deals. Like, these are all 3. You know, most of them are a 1-year deal. You got a 2-year deal there. Kyle Rudolph, which obviously he signed today, so that was good that they decided the foot injury wasn't that big of a deal. Adoree Jackson's 3-year deal, just like Bradbury was, just like Martinez was, just like all those guys were. And of course, they were restructured, but he's 25. And Golladay, yeah, I mean, I didn't see Golladay getting that much money, but you know what? When you factor in this, and I mentioned this in the video that I did yesterday, if we brought those 2 guys in here, we brought Golladay here on a 1-year prove-it deal, $16 million. We bring him in for 1 year, and he balls out. The cap goes up next year. Then what do you need to get him back? $20 million, $21 million? So if you look at it that way, if he comes in here and puts up big numbers, it actually was a bargain. And you could say the same thing for Adoree Jackson. People don't seem to realize that the cap goes up next year, and the Giants they're under the cap. As far as I know, I don't think I've been going to like Spot Track and over the cap. They still have Spencer Pulley on the team. People are telling me Spencer Pulley's on the team, but both of them have that $2 million in there. So I don't know what the deal is. They don't have Adoree Jackson's contract on there. They have everything else in there. And they were still like $40 million under the cap. So I don't know. We'll see what they do. Obviously, everything is predicated on how they perform. If they perform well, they didn't overpay him. If they stink or they're hurt, they did. But that's a chance you take when you're trying to make the team better.
Yeah, and I'm going to get more to that. I just want to say hello to a couple of people in the chat. What's going on, Rayo? What's going on, Jesse? What's going on, Roger? What's going on, Scotty H? What's going on, McCann? Nick DeWick in the chat. Afghanistan in the chat. John Murphy in the chat. Rafat in the chat. Charles in the chat. Card Coach in the chat. And thank you to everybody for tuning in. Going to get to a couple of these super chats in a second. But, yeah, I think you bring up a great point. And the other thing I want to make note of, the Golladay contract, if they wanted to, say he regresses in play, say he gets hurt, they structured it in a way that, yeah, it's still a $10 million hit, but you'd save $11 million on his contract. He's due to make 21. They structured it in a way that they'd be able to get out. Leonard Williams, they structured it in a way that they'd only have to take a $7 million hit year 3 instead of paying him $25 million. So I think they did this smart. They didn't do what Reese did. They're 3-year deals for the most part. Galladay's deal might as well be a 3-year deal. He's going to be 31 at the conclusion of it. And what they did, they said, Daniel Jones, we're going to put our trust in you. And we're going all in. We're going to give you an opportunity to win a Super Bowl on your rookie contract. And now he gives them a 2 or 3 year window to go out there and try to be really competitive. And I think Giants fans should be pumped up about that. I'm sick. You know, I always express patience, Baddog, but it comes a point during a rookie contract with a quarterback, you got to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what the New York Giants did. And I applaud them for it. Go ahead.
I know. I was just going to say, I was saying this in my videos. What do we save the money for? Like, what are you saving it for? I equate it to I just use the Jets as an example. Do they like Zach Wilson? We love Zach Wilson. So you take him if you love him. You don't sit there and go, well, why don't we wait until next year to get our quarterback? You don't know where you're drafted next year. You don't know who's available next year. It's the same thing with free agency. If the Giants waited, well, we don't have the cap space. We don't want to pay this guy because the cap went down. How do you know what wide receivers are going to be there next year? So you might not get the guy that you really want. And one of the biggest things about Kenny Golladay, there's 2 things about this. Number one, Daniel Jones needs a number 1 receiver. We need to know what Daniel Jones is. And we've been saying that for a year. 2021 to make a break for Daniel Jones. Get him a number 1 receiver. No more excuses about he don't have weapons.
Yep.
And number 2, especially after they signed Adoree Jackson, the flexibility at number 11 to not have to focus on a singular position because you absolutely need a receiver. You still can double up if you want. You can double up on quarterback. You want to get J.C. Horn at 11, you can get J.C. Horn at 11. You want to go Rashawn Slater, you can go Rashawn Slater. You want to go Micah Parsons, you can go Micah Parsons. You want to go Greg Rousseau or Kwity Paye, you can go that way too. They're freed up. They can do whatever they want at 11, and you're not going to be wrong.
Yep, I'm with you on that, man. And we've been talking about that for a while. Juicy, man, thank you very much. Can't wait to see the NYPD lock it down this season, and we're going to get into Adoree Smith, Juicy, for sure. And let's start there. And I've talked a lot about this in this scheme. You need good corner play. I think it's obvious, and that's why I was so psyched when we got it when we got Adoree Jackson. And I know some people worry about the injuries. I know he's not an elite corner, but he's definitely a guy that is a huge upgrade as to what we had on the other side, opposite James Bradbury. And now a team that I think we both kind of got a little bit frustrated at times on defense last year when they played a little bit more zone because maybe they didn't trust that corner opposite James Bradbury. Now they're going to have that freedom, in my opinion, to send the dogs. They're going to be a lot more aggressive this year. And I think it's a great pickup. I think it unleashes this defense.
Yeah, and again, he's a corner too. He's not your number one lockdown corner, so he doesn't need to be the best corner in the league. But if you look at his rating when he's lined up outside since 2018, he's I think he's fourth overall or fifth overall. So he's been the fourth best corner lined up outside since 2018. And listen, I love Eagle fans. You overplayed. They're just, I mentioned this in one of my live streams. I don't know if you agree or not, but I swear to God, what the Eagles did to the Giants by blowing that game on purpose, I swear that had something to do with their aggressiveness in free agency. I think the Giants were taking a swing for defense and saying, you know what, this ain't happening again. We're not going to depend on anybody else. We know we didn't win enough games. We shouldn't have had to depend on them, but now we're going for it. We're going to make a move. We're going to try to win this thing outright, so we don't need to depend on anybody else. Listen, we were in a bunch of games last year. We lost 3 games we shouldn't have lost. We should have been 9-7, even with the team we had last year. You add all these pieces going into this year with a year under Joe Judge, a full offseason. There's no reason not to be hyped up about the New York Giants this year.
Absolutely. I just want to read one before I lose it. Raphael, thank you very much. Does Baddog hate Engram or Gary Sanchez more?
Sanchez, not close. Not close. Not even a thought about that. I hate Gary Sanchez. Get him the hell out of the Yankees. Go somewhere else. I told one of the Mets fans, I said, well, we'll trade him for a pitching rubber and a bucket of sunflower seeds. Just get him the hell out of here. I hate him, man. I can't.
Christian Pena says, what's going on, Christian Pena? What's going on, Christian, man? Thanks for popping in. Hakeem says, this is Danny's year, boy. Don't get it twisted. Don't listen to ESPN and all those reporters. It's all nonsense. I trust Judge. Let's go, fellas. Drink one for me, Hakeem, man. Thank you very much. And yeah, listen, man, this is the year. And you know what? I've come out and said it. I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones guy. I'm not a cheerleader for Daniel Jones. I think this year is the year we're going to find out whether or not he's the guy. And I think now there's not going to be any excuses. What I think the Giants need to focus on a bit is now making sure that offensive line can block. But you got him the weapons necessary. They still may add another weapon in the first round from what we've heard recently. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I think Jones, I really believe this. And it's not just Jones. It's most NFL quarterbacks. But it's not like he lacks talent. I think Jones, if given the proper support system, could be a good NFL quarterback. And we're going to find out this year. He's going to have a better support system. He's going to have Barkley back. He's now got a number 1. He's got Ross. He's got a sure-handed tight end in Rudolph. Obviously, we hope he's back. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. Slayton's now in the 2 instead of the 1. He's going to get number 2 coverage. Shepard in the slot. There's no excuses outside of the offensive line potentially, but I like what we've done for Daniel Jones this offseason so far.
Yeah, definitely. People are saying slow mode your chat. I see that a bunch over there.
I'm not gonna be able to do that right now, guys. It's in the middle of the stream, but next time I won't forget.
Okay, I just happen to see a bunch of people saying it. But yeah, and then that's the other thing. I mean, they've been kind of connected to Trey Turner. We'll see. I don't know how much cap space they have because again, when I went to spot track and over the cap, it doesn't seem like it's updated all the way. But the Giants have been able to make these moves anyway, and that would be a big upgrade right there. There's a lot of things the Giants can do with the offensive line too. They could draft the guard outright. They could draft the center and slide Gates over to guard. They could try Parrott at guard and move Solder over to have him at the tackle. You could play Lemieux at one guard and move Hernandez at one guard. There's a lot of things they can do. But they're a young and experienced offensive line, and they definitely have to play well. But I think that A healthy Saquon Barkley will alleviate a lot of pressure off Daniel Jones. You can run the ball. You can't just pin your ears back and go after Daniel Jones. So, we'll see. But they did what they had to do for Daniel Jones. And again, some of these under the radar signings. We talked about Odenigbo, last time, and I think that's an under the radar signing. I think he could be really good. And then John Ross. I mean, he's a burner. You got to be creative. Try to give him the ball one way or the other. Get him out in space and let him utilize the speed. I do love what they did this year. I think. Again, the last couple seasons, and we saw the draft, but Dave Gettleman and company done a great job with this team, going in the right direction.
Absolutely. I'm just going to read a couple of these, and we're going to get back to something that I could pull up on here. I don't want to lose this. John, man, thank you so much, man. The Phillies A says, Stella, and stand up to my two favorite Giant YouTubers, but really closet Eagles fans that I just sent Chris's favorite Eagles, Deshaun Jackson. No, you didn't. I am just kidding, my friend. Thanks to Eric Allen. Y'all secondary is strong. I told you, John, if you – and why is – Waterfly now deleting 2 of Zahibe's super chats? I can't read the second one now. I got one because it's on here, but why is I get one time it could be a mistake. That's now 2 times. Please don't delete Zahibe's super chats. But man, John, man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it, my man. Let me get to a couple of these real quick though before I lose them.
Yeah, go ahead.
We got Wiley Cody, man. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Baddog, was your name inspired by Chris Mad Dog Russo? Thanks. Keep up the stream. Awesome content, guys. Appreciate it.
Quick story about that. It's funny because I kind of have the personality of both Francesa and Russo. I'm kind of a mixture, but no, when I was a teenager, I used to go out all the time, and I was just out with my buddies in a bar, and I used to go into the bar and I'd be like, I'm going to take her home. I'm going to take her home. Grab that girl's number. I'll take her. I'll do this. I'll do that. They were just like, you bad dog, you bad. And that stuck. That's how I became bad dog. That's like 25 years old, the bad dog thing.
Zahibe, I lost the $5 one. I don't know what happened with it. I can't read it. But I'm going to read a couple more, and then I'm going to get back to some of these because it's moving fast. G Nation, man, thank you very much. Stand up, guys. Big Blue is going to make all the haters pay. Giants way, not Patriot way, because Bill is from New York, the Parcells tree. Yeah. I think we're starting to build, and that was the one thing. And Will, man, thank you so much for the dollar donation. But I think that was the one thing, Bad Dog, that really stood out to me more so than anything else this offseason. All the players that wanted to come play for Joe Judge. You didn't see that with Pat Shurmur. And I said it on Twitter. If this was Pat Shurmur, if this was Ben McAdoo, do you think Nate Solder takes that big of a pay cut to come back and play with the New York Giants? He's making less than if they would have just cut him. Because players are buying in. Players want to be here. And the most ironic thing is, last year, all you heard from the pundits and the media was that nobody was going to want to come play for this guy because he was too hard-nosed.
Yep. Yeah. Shannon Sharp said a bunch of guys are just a bunch of gas bags is what they are, man. I don't know what else to say. All they do is sit there and talk about, they just hate on Joe Judge because they wouldn't want to play with it. Look at Steve Smith. Oh, they ain't going to sign nobody because Dave Gettleman don't want to out for me, blah, blah, blah. How'd them words taste, buddy? Little storm there, Stevie? Yeah. Because guess what, man? You don't know damn thing. He let you walk. You played for 2 more years. You were gone. He let Josh Norman. He rescinded the tag because Norman wanted too much money. He went to Washington. He sucked. So let me tell you something. Dave Gettleman took that team to a Super Bowl without Steve Smith. So let's be real about it, man. Dave Gettleman took over a terrible team, and it's taken a couple years. You don't rebuild in a year. That don't happen.
Yeah.
This is the year. Chris and I have been talking about this since we started our show. 2021 was going to be our season. We knew that. We could tell. It takes like 2 or 3 years to go through a rebuild. We're there. I said it 5 years ago. It's going to take the Giants 5 years to get out of it. Before Chris was here, before a lot of you guys are here. I said in 2016, when we hired McAdoo, I said it's going to be 5 years. This is the 5th year. This is the 6th year. It's been 5 years. Now we're ready to rock and roll. And I'm ready to rock and roll.
I think we're going to have a special year this
year. I'm pumped up, man. It's Wednesday. It feels like Friday, but hell.
Christopher, man, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Go Giants. O-line. We're going to talk about the draft in a bit, Christopher, once I catch up with some of these. But, yeah, we definitely need to improve that O-line. There's no denying it. Yuri, he says Eagles signed Joe Flacco, LMAO. Oh, God. I bet you. I seen Eagles fans tell me that he's better than Daniel Jones now, Joe Flacco.
Eagle fans think they wanted to debate. By the way, John Letourneau may have sent you a Deshaun Jackson jersey.
Oh, really?
He sent me an Eric Allen jersey for real.
Oh, I didn't give my address. I saw your video. I know he sent you an Eric Allen. Yeah, he asked me, could I say, I said, no, I want to save you time because I'll use it as toilet paper. But yeah.
I'm gonna use that in a bet with Philly 500 this year. So
there you go. Yuri, man, thank you very much. Manny, man, thank you very much. Rudolph interview got me pumped. Will be a big piece. Listen, man, I know a lot of people when we first got Rudolph were saying, and I can't do slow mode right now, Dyard. I can't. I'm in the middle of the stream. I can't. I'm sorry. We're going to get back to Rudolph in a sec because I don't want to lose these. Darian, man, thank you very much. Love how Eagles fans be saying we overpaid while they're paying Wentz $34 million.
They play for the Colts.
Yeah, exactly.
They're overpaying everybody. Look at all their dead cap. Look at all their dead cap. They don't know what the hell they're doing over there. I love it. They're gonna suck for years. I can't wait to whoop their ass. I can't wait. Week 1. I want to blow them out so bad.
I think we are.
I want week 1. I want to beat them like 31-10 and just put a sour taste in their mouth all year to let you know that's right. The Giants are your daddies because this whole thing with the Giants and Eagles, it has always been streaky. Always. Yeah. And it's about time for us to go on our streak now.
We should have swept them last year if it wasn't for Engram. Yeah. Ricardo, man.
God, that little squirt.
Oh, God. That guy kills us every time. Ricardo, thank you very much. It's great free agency for your New York Giants. Grade A. I have not been more excited about this team since our last Super Bowl win. Putting your GM hat on, what are your predictions for the upcoming draft? Okay. I'll let you start on that one, Baddog.
I mean, you know who I want, but I think they're going offensive line. I think they've addressed pretty much everything that they needed to. Wide receiver, cornerback 2. They added a couple receivers. They added a tight end, Kyle Rudolph. And they added an edge. I mean, it didn't add a massive edge rusher. They got Reggie Ragland. They got Denigbo. But I think Rashawn Slater's the pick at 11. And I think
if he's there.
Right. Yeah. I think they're going to bolster the offensive line. I really do. One way or the other, I think they're going to figure that out because, again, as good as the pieces are around, if you can't protect Daniel Jones, he's going to struggle. So I think they're going to go that route. I still want Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, my thoughts real quick, Ricardo. I don't know the order in which it's going to go, but I'm going to tell you my guess, wide receiver, interior offensive line, interior defensive line will be our first 3 picks. I don't know the order. Interior offensive line maybe first, wide receiver maybe first. I think they're going to get one more weapon because they could very well be cutting Shepard next year, and they could use that guy to replace him. I could see him going in the first or the second, possibly the third. It's a deep wide receiver class. I think they're going to get an interior defensive lineman. Yeah, we could say we got B.J. Hill, and obviously Austin Johnson, but both those guys are free agents next year, and we know that our cap space is going to be tied up after the moves we made this year. So I think they'll be taking an interior defensive lineman, an interior offensive lineman, and a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds in any specific order. Duran, man, thank you very much. He says, what's your morale if we drop one to Philly? I'm going to be pissed, but I don't expect to this year. I really don't.
My morale's like that no matter who we lose to.
Yeah, well, good. Yeah, exactly.
So, especially them, but yeah.
Yeah. Zahibe, Anthony, I'm going to get back to you guys. Don't think I forgot you, but I don't want to lose the ones on my phone. Entertainer the Source Scott, thank you very much. People said Adoree sucks, but the Titans didn't have pass rush, so coverage can only hold up for so long. We have the better pass rush, and we are going to send the dogs. Love the content, fellas, man. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, man, listen. I think a lot of Giants fans, they think back to the 4-3 defense. And don't get me wrong, I would love another edge rusher. Don't get me wrong on that. But in this scheme, when you blitz the way that they do, you need good interior pressure and you need good corner play. And that's how the New York Giants have built this defense. And I'm starting to see a lot of the mocks say that the Giants are going to take edge rushers in the first round. Maybe they will. Maybe I'll be wrong. I don't think they're going to. They brought in, like you said, 2 situational pass rushers in this free agency period already. They got Lorenzo Carter coming back, and they got O'Shane Ximines coming back. They drafted like 4 outside linebackers last year in the later rounds. I think they're going to look for value at that position. Maybe they take one in the 3rd or 4th round, but I don't see them take one in the 1st.
This team is, I don't know where they finished, but for a while they were top 10 in sacks with a bad secondary and the same edge rushers. So, without a healthy Lorenzo Carter, without a healthy O'Shane Ximines, so there's no reason to think that they can't do enough without a pure edge rusher. And hey, again, he's out there. I haven't really heard any. I kind of heard some whispers about it, but maybe Jadeveon Clowney, maybe you bring him in for a 1-year prove-it deal, and you get your edge rusher. I don't really know what the Giants are going to do. Again, it's hard for me to tell what the cap space is because every time I go to spot tracking over the cap, it's not updated. So, but I don't know. We'll see. I want Kyle Pitts. Yeah,
Juicy, I lost it, but
and get rid of Evan Engram and save it. What? Why wouldn't you, even if you went free with the second round, why wouldn't you trade Evan Engram to Jacksonville for a 4th round pick possible and save $6 million? Why wouldn't you just unload him? You're not bringing him back next year. You're not signing Evan Engram. Unload him. Save the $6 million.
If we could, if somebody's willing to give if someone's willing to give a 3rd or 4th round pick, I'm with you. If we could get
I'll talk about this too, because I think Jacksonville's picking 25. I never remember if it's 25th or 23rd. You could package it. What about Evan Engram? 43 for the 25. What about something like that?
In a second.
Oh, I mean, you think that they would do that? You think that's fair?
Oh, I don't know.
Eagles fans saying just Evan Engram for the 23rd. But number 43 and Evan Engram, it's possible. With Trevor Lawrence coming there, you might want a guy. Maybe a change of scenery helps that guy. He don't fit in here.
Yeah.
Stinks.
Juicy, your super chat went away, but I remembered. I'm going to get Independence before I lose his, and then I'll say what I remember from yours. Independent, thank you very much. It is brilliant how Gettleman and Judge use teams' cap issues to snatch some young, talented players, a few injury risks, but hey, let's go. Great job, y'all. Well, yeah, that's why we were able to get them, because they had injury risks. That's why we were able to get them. So, but I think the Giants, Kevin Abrams deserves a lot of credit too, the way he was able to manipulate the cap. But I think they did a great job. They didn't kill our future by bringing in these players. But let me say Juicy before I forget it. Juicy said, so did you guys hear from not so average Joe Judge, or whatever, not your average Joe Judge, that the New York Giants may potentially be interested in Rondale Moore? I have not heard that. I would not be opposed to Rondale Moore in the 2nd round, though. Definitely not in the 1st, but in the 2nd round, another guy with injury histories, but a guy that I do think would bring a different element to this offense. Wouldn't be opposed to him, but I'm not taking him in the 1st. Mobile Man Cave, what's up, man? He says, yo, Christiana Taylor and Baddog, let's go, G-Man of New York Sports. Love the stream, boys. Appreciate it, my man.
Go.
Durant says Ryan justified his contract by recruiting Jackson. Did a great job. I think Ryan justified his contract by playing like a Pro Bowler last year, Baddog.
There's another guy I forget about because we did it early, but it's also part of the free agent haul. Logan Ryan, Leonard Williams, Kenny Galladay, Adoree Jackson, Dengbo, Reggie Ragland, John Ross, Kyle Rudolph. They did a nice job. They did a nice job addressing a lot of things that they need. Man.
They filled the hole.
I always say I feel like I can't wait for football, and I was always like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy the Yankees. I'm going to enjoy the summer because although I love the Giants and I love them to death, I can always wait. This year, I really am ready for summer. I still am going to enjoy the summer. Don't get me wrong. I love the summer. But the summer's going to be longer than it normally is because I can't wait for Giants football this year, baby.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. Jason, let me read this real quick. Can we not take the lights off if we can't block? None of this means not. This doesn't mean anything. We won't beat anyone else's fault who can run or pass behind what we saw for the last 2 years. I'm assuming you're talking about we need to get the offensive line right. That's what I'm assuming. I'm trying to read it as quick as I can. Can we not take the light off if we can't block? Yeah, I agree with you. And Nate, man, thank you very much. What's up, fellas? I won Hogs round 1 and 2, and Nate agrees with you as well. But yeah, if we can't block, the weapons don't mean anything. You have to be able to block. Us as Giants fans should know that better than anybody over the last 15 years or 10 years with Eli Manning. And G Nation, man, thank you very much. Just smash that like, boys. Appreciate it. I'm just going to read a couple of these real quick so I don't lose them. NY Giants 26. What's up, Chris? Eagles suck. Yes, they do. And Pete's got a question. I'm going to take a picture because it's going to take a while to answer. I want to get some of the quicker ones. I can go back to the picture. Bear says Waddle, Smith, Parsons, and Slater on the board at 11. Who do you pick? Waddle, Smith, Parsons.
I'm taking Jalen
and Slater. And Slater. That's tough. It depends how high I value the 2nd round guards, but that's tough, man. I like Waddle. I like Smith. I wouldn't be opposed to taking Waddle or Smith there. I wouldn't be opposed to any of them, but I think offensive line's our biggest need. It depends how you prioritize it, Pete. I took a picture. I will get back to your super chat, but I got to read some of these before I lose them. Let's see what we got here. Grim, man, thank you very much. Trade down, grab Vera Tucker or Jalen Phillips, and then offensive line or edge, depending on the 2nd. Dwayne Eskridge in the 3rd, similar to Rondale Moore, sleeper. Again, we say it all the time, Baddog. Everybody says trade down, and I'm for it. You need a partner. It's easy.
And I think you mentioned before, Chris, people, for the most part, aren't trading up to number 11. Usually when you trade up and give up draft capital, it's for a quarterback. So it's a little bit more difficult when you're picking 11th.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody absolutely that a team picking 19th or something's like, we need that player. So it's rare at 11 but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, again, we need a dance partner, and obviously if a quarterback's there, it makes it much more likelier. But yeah, I'd love to trade down if the right players aren't there for us. John, man, thank you very much, guys. You know I'm a loyal Eagles fan, right? Now the Giants are looking like a scary hypothetical. Would you still want the Eagles Giants NFC title game?
No.
No, more pressure.
No.
Yeah, I want to sweep you guys and keep you guys out of the playoffs, John.
No,
oh.
Never want to see that in my lifetime because that would be the last game I watch.
Let me pull up the picture now. Pete says if one of the big four offensive guys are there at 11, I'm fine with grabbing one. But if they're gone, I really think we need to go Sewell or Slater if one's there or secondary. Yeah, Pete, I'm going to tell you what, though, and maybe Bad Dog disagrees with me. I think one of those four guys are going to be there. A matter of fact, I'd be shocked if one of those four guys are not there.
Yeah, I mean, 4 quarterbacks are going in the top 10.
Yeah.
And then a corner's going. A corner's going someplace. And some offensive linemen are going.
Yeah.
I mean, Sewell's going top 10. He has to. He's got to go to the Bengals or the Dolphins. One of those teams is going to take him for their young quarterback. I feel the Dolphins are going to go wide receiver, even though they added Marvin Jones. But I think they're going to want. But I think
didn't the Dolphins add Fuller?
Yeah, they did add Will Fuller.
Yeah.
So I definitely, or was it Jacksonville that added Marvin Jones?
I can't remember. But
regardless, I think it's still a wide receiver. I think Cincinnati's got to go offensive line. Joe Burrow already tore his ACL once. I think they got to get Penei Sewell. So I think he's going there. I think Kyle Pitts will go top 10. So, yeah, I have no doubt one of those 3 receivers are going to drop to us.
Yeah, I'm with you. The question is, do we take him? But I'm with you. I think one of those 3 is definitely going to be there. And I'm leaning Devontae Smith. That's where I've been leaning for a while. I think he's going to be the guy that lasts. Prince, man, thank you very much. Parsons or pay in the first, O-line and more. I think you're saying Parsons are pay and then O-line and more. I don't think Rondale Moore is going to be in the third, Prince, if that's what you mean. I'd be surprised if Rondale Moore lasts to the third, especially mid-third. But, yeah, if you go defense in the first, no matter what, Bad Dog, this is my opinion on it. If it's not the first, it's got to be the second. We need an offensive lineman. And even if he's not going to be an immediate impact this year, my thought process at this point is I don't think we're extending Hernandez. We have very little cap space next year to begin with. And if you're not extending Hernandez, you need to draft his replacement. So we have, in my opinion, we have to draft an interior offensive lineman, whether it be the first or the second round.
Agreed.
But Prince, man, thank you very much. And Ella says, we had a great free agency. I'm happy we had a long drought. So Tana, Bad Dog, Judge, Gettleman, we all going to Whataburger on me. Stand up. What's going on, Elvis? You ever been? No, you never been to Texas, right?
No, I've never been to Texas.
Oh, if you ever go, you got to get a Whataburger.
I've heard about the Whataburgers. I also heard about Smashburger. Smashburger sucks. I'm a Five Guys guy, so you better outdo Five Guys.
Five Guys is phenomenal.
Because Five Guys is damn good. It'd be tough to beat. It's a tough act to beat. Give me the hamburger. I put everything on that thing except for like onions. My hamburger's like this damn big. I need like a fork and knife to eat it.
Yeah,
I can't eat it. The thing's huge. I got a big mouth and I still can't eat that thing.
They give you like unlimited toppings over there, and if you get a small,
go for it, man. You know, you put the lettuce, the pickles, the tomatoes, the grilled peppers, the bacon, the jalapeno peppers, the mushrooms. I mean, you just load the damn thing up. You know, ketchup, the mustard, obviously. You put everything but them damn nasty ass onions on there, and you're good to go. Although if they grill the onions, I could do it because I like the fajita vegetables in my Chipotle. So who knows? I just load my burger up.
Toasties and the fries there. I was gonna say you get a small, fills up the whole bag.
Yeah.
Toasty said Reese should have made the trade for Mahomes. Ifs, nuts, candies, butts. But yeah, obviously if you go back in time, sure, yes, absolutely should have made the trade for. If there was a trade there, yes, they absolutely should have. Duran, man, thank you very much. I want to hear Judge's pre-Philly game speeches. Oh man, I'd love to be a fly on the wall during Joe Judge pregame speech. And Brandon says, rumors the Giants are interested in Micah or Rousseau. I've heard tons of rumors. I've heard that the Giants are interested in Devontae Smith. I've heard the Giants are interested in Kyle Pitts. You're going to hear rumors about everybody. Is it possible we're interested in Rousseau? Sure. And Parsons as well. But you obviously with Parsons, you worry about the backstory. But I think Parsons fits our scheme beautifully. If you draft Rousseau, that's more like a JPP-like signing. You're hoping he's a guy with upside that you could. The reason I don't think it's going to be Rousseau, and maybe I'll be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. The draft is completely unpredictable. The reason I don't think it's going to be Rousseau in the end, the New York Giants are trying to accelerate this process. I personally think in the first round, they're going to be looking for an instant impact player. They're trying to shorten this process for Daniel Jones and trying to capitalize on the rookie contract. If that's the case, it would lead me to believe they're not going to use a first-round pick on a project, which is the book on Greg Rousseau.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But that's
Listen, I love Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
But I just always think to myself in the back of my head, not that it's the same thing, but the DeAndre Baker situation blew up in our face. And I don't know if the Giants want to take a chance with another first round or having problems off the field. So, I mean, it did happen when he's a freshman, but still, it's there. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Thank you again, Brendan, man. I appreciate it. LA Lou, he says, I had issues with my internet and I am catching up on things. What's your opinion on the Ryan Anderson signing? Yeah, I don't know if you know. Did you look into him at all, Baddog, Ryan Anderson?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Again, situational guy. And listen, the Giants want to be versatile. That's what they preach the whole time. So there's a bunch of guys that can do a bunch of different things at different situations in the game. And again, he's just a piece you plug in now and again, and you keep the guys fresh and you keep rotating them. And I like it. I mean, again, low risk, high reward. So I like what they did this offseason. I like what they did last offseason. I like this offseason better. We got special impact guys. Not that those guys didn't have an impact, but like we have like big name free agents this year.
Yeah. I love the Ryan Anderson signing. It's kind of like a lot of other signings we made. It was a low risk, high reward. He's a guy that was not in the right scheme last year. They transferred to the 4-3 instead of the 3-4 under Del Rio, and a lot of people felt like that was a reason why he regressed a bit in play. He didn't even get an opportunity because of the pass rushers Washington has over there. He didn't even get on the field. But the year before, he had 4 sacks in 4 games. He only started 4 games. He got all 4 of his sacks in those games. He had 5 forced fumbles. He's a guy that fits the scheme. He's obviously a guy that Joe Judge and Patrick Graham feel like they could coach up. Former second-round pick out of Alabama. They're paying him $900,000. What's not to like?
Right.
I'm a big fan of it. And Ricardo, man, thank you very much. How many wide receivers and tight ends make sense to have on the active roster? Usually 6 on average. I mean, the Giants had some games last year where they had 4, I think, and they had like 4 tight ends. But usually you want to have at least 5, but I would say 6 is average.
Yeah, I agree.
But thank you, Ricardo, man. I appreciate it, my man. And T. Savage, thank you very much. Slater in the first, Rondell Moore in the second. I wouldn't be opposed to that. And I like I said, T. Savage, I think it's going to be either offensive lineman and a wide receiver, or possibly an interior defensive lineman in the second, or a wide receiver and an offensive lineman in the second. That's where my head is at right now. I think that they will either go with a wide receiver and an offensive lineman in the first, no matter what. I don't really see any, unless it's Parsons. I personally don't think we're going to take Parsons. So that's where my head is. I think that's what your order is going to be. If you take a wide receiver in the first, I'm willing to bet big money that the second pick will be an offensive lineman.
Yeah, make it Creed Humphrey, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. And Tyler, man, thank you very much. He says, Baddog wants Creed so bad. He just said it.
I didn't even see that. I know Creed, man. Let's go, baby. I'm out. Creed is a beast. You understand? You need that nastiness, man. Creed's the man. Just trust me.
And then you would move Gates over to the guard.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I'd love enough. Just get an interior offensive line. We need one.
Peter, man, a hog in every sense of the word. Creed is a good old country boy, and he's going to line up and whoop your ass.
They were talking to the guy from Alabama. I don't know why I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The center from Alabama. They were talking to him supposedly. And he's a second-round prospect, so keep an eye out on him too. But I forgot his name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Pete, man, thank you very much. All today's mocks have all the receivers gone, 4 quarterbacks gone, 4 receivers, Penny Sewell, and a corner. We get to 11 with Slater available and Farley. That's why they have us taking Kwity Paye. Receivers shooting up the board. It's mocks. Don't believe everything that you read right now. That may be the case, but the mocks said Andrew Thomas was going 25th in the draft at this point in time last year. So
that's why they made 26 mocks apiece.
Yeah.
We don't know. They're like the weathermen, man. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And the other thing I'll say about that is Farley's going to drop. Farley might drop into the late first round. He's getting surgery. So I think that's going to hurt his draft stock. Blue Scale, man, thank you very much. I'm just joking. Just want to say my homies. What's going on, Blue Scale, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. And then he put joining. I'm just joining instead of joking. You didn't have to donate another $5 for that. I appreciate it, Blue Scale, man. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to try to read some here now. I'm sure they've been waiting for me to read them. Zahai, man, thank you very much. Says, what's up, fellas? I'm excited and looking forward to the next few years of Big Blue football. Let's go. And what do you guys think about the Bleacher Report saying we recruited players coming off of injury? I didn't get a chance to read that, to be honest with you, Zahai.
I didn't either, but you know what? What are you going to do? It's in the past. You got to take your shot when they're there. You hope they stay healthy. I mean, what else can you do? You got to hope they stay healthy. When I said to all the Giants fans, they're like, "Oh, we should have never taken him. He's injury prone." I'm like, then you don't want to resign Saquon Barkley at any cost. It doesn't matter. You don't want Saquon Barkley back here. He's injury prone. Let's face it. He's missed more games in 3 years than Kenny Galladay's missed in 4. So obviously, if you're thinking that, then you don't want Saquon Barkley back here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's a risk. It's a risk. It definitely is. You want these guys to stay healthy, but if you sat there and said for every player in the NFL that's injured, well, we can't take a chance because he's been injured, nobody would get signed. I mean, for the most part, sports is the nature of the beast. It happens to everybody. So just hope they stay healthy. You can't sit there and go, well, geez. You plan on everybody being healthy. You're not planning on them getting injured. I guess that's the only way to look at it.
Hey, man, life's a game of risk, man. Sometimes you got to take shots. And if the Giants were going to take a shot, it was going to be this year.
So. Hey, right. I took my shot 21 years ago. Really. There we go.
Anthony, man, thank you very much. We are not done yet. Why not guard now that we have the room? Do we have the room? I mean, from what I've seen, and we got to remember, guys, the contract for the cornerback we just signed, Adoree Jackson, has not come in yet. And they said they're going to pay him $16 million up front. If you could sign a guard on a $3 or $4 million contract on a 1-year deal, if they could find cap for that, you also got to remember we still have draft expenses. Okay. But at this point, I don't expect another prominent signing. I think they're going to attack the offensive line in the draft.
I agree.
And Zohai, man, thank you again, man. He says, time for cheerleaders in New York. Stand up. We haven't had I think, are the Giants like one of the only teams without cheerleaders?
I'll be honest. They're nice to look at, but who cares? I mean, you don't watch the cheerleaders during the game.
Yeah.
You're watching the football. I got no problem with cheerleaders. I want to watch. I watch the Knicks City Dancers anyway. Ain't nobody better than them.
How about the Laker girls? You call the games. They're pretty good.
They're not bad. Knicks City Dancers are better. They are. Knicks City Dancers are better than the Laker girls.
And
I watch both, so I know.
Manny, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, you catch Bobby. I didn't. Somebody told me, it might have been you that told me about him last stream. I can't remember. I looked for it on YouTube, but it may be updated now. But yeah, apparently, I don't know if you heard about this, Bobby. Apparently, Bobby Woodruff, hi, Bobby. He was on the Craig Carton and Evan Roberts show. He called in.
Oh.
They had their way with him, I heard. It was like a 5-minute phone conversation. I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, I'm sure. Did they go, hey, Bobby?
Richard, man, thank you very much. Hi, Chris. Who the Knicks pick up? Giants just need O-line block for DJ and could stand King. Sorry, Bad Dog. You from New York. Okay. I don't know what you I think you mistyped something there. But as far as the Knicks, who are they going to pick up? I think it's going to be a small pickup. I don't think it's going to be anything huge, Richard, but I do think they'll make a small move. I think it'll be a shooter, like a guy like JJ Redick, somebody like that. I don't think it's going to be a huge move. I'd be surprised. I don't. Yeah, no, they shouldn't. Is right.
No, they did that with. I say it all the time. They did it with Carmelo Anthony, and they set the team back. They had one good year, and they made a nice run to playoffs and won the Atlantic Conference for the first time since '94, back in 2012, 2013. But then they fell right to hell because they gave up all their picks. Knicks aren't ready to make that run of the championship yet. Don't blow it up. The Knicks have a ton of cap space next year.
Yep.
The Knicks are going to get a superstar. Now, Julius Randle's a great player. He's not a superstar.
Yeah.
They need it, and that's going to happen very soon. They're going to get a superstar to go with Julius Randle, to go with Emmanuel Quickly, to go with RJ Barrett and the young team. And then you're going to watch the Knicks really take off. That's what's going to happen. But they're not there yet. Don't be trading everybody for Bradley Beal.
No.
It's not smart.
No, gotta stay smart. Eric, man, thank you very much. I love seeing a new group of leaders emerging between Logan Ryan and Peppers. Also, love seeing a lot of Giants relay that they love playing for Judge. Seems like real good chemistry, and that equates to wins. Yeah, culture. And great point there, Eric. But it's all about the culture, and they love playing for him. Mm-hmm. Grim, man, thank you very much. Trade down scenario. Mac Jones is there. 49ers at 12. Patriots, Bears. Washington ain't trading with us. All possibly want a quarterback. Could trade with the Pats or Bears. Unlikely Washington football team. Yeah, I think that's the only way, and we've talked about that several times. I don't know if it would be for Mac Jones. It may have to be for a more highly thought of quarterback, but maybe Mac Jones is moving up. I don't know. But that is the only way, in my opinion, that the Giants will be able to trade down. A quarterback that teams really want is going to have to be there at 11, and teams are going to have to jump the 49ers. So if that's the case, it's a possibility.
Mac Jones is going to the Eagles at 6.
I hope so. I hope so. Deception, man. Actually, I think I got you here, Deception, but let me just make sure it's the same super chat. Yes, it is. And once again, thank you to everybody for being here. I'm just trying to keep up with all the donations. You guys are incredible. Thank you to everybody for being here. If you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. More importantly, go into the link in the description. We're going to be on Bad Dog's channel next week, and we're going to be covering this all the way up past the draft. So thank you to everybody for being here. I'm sure my mods could drop his link as well.
Yes, and it'll be Friday next week because the Knicks nor Lakers play on Friday.
We
looked at the schedule and it was booked. Knicks and Lakers.
It was brutal this week.
They both play tomorrow on Friday. Or no, I think the Lakers play tomorrow on Friday. The Knicks play Saturday and Thursday.
Yeah, they play Saturday night. If it was at 7, I would have said okay. But they play at like 8 or 8:30.
Right.
And yeah, so it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But Deception, man, thank you very much. He says, stand up. Hey, Bad Dog, as a Sooners expert, do you think Creed Humphrey could transition to guard?
He's a center. You don't want to transition him to guard. If the Giants are going to take Creed, you leave him at center. You move Gates to guard. Gates played right guard, so I think Creed is. You don't want to mess with Creed. Creed is a great center. Like I said, I've been touting him since he was a freshman. And you can ask Chris since we started doing the show. I've been all about Creed Humphrey. So, I mean, the kid's just nasty. And like I said, you go and look at his pro day, and again, you take the pro days with a grain of salt, but he's good. He's really good. If you can get him later in the draft. You stole him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. If you draft Creed Humphrey, who played center in college, Gates was not a center. Gates is a converted center, and I'd like to keep Gates there in a perfect world, continuity, everything else. But if you draft a guy that played center in college and Gates has demonstrated he could play the guard and tackle well, at that point you shift Gates and you start Creed Humphrey at the center. I think that would be the plan if we did indeed draft him.
Yeah.
New York for life, man. Thank you very much. What's worse, bringing home a girl named Antonia and finding out her real name is Tony, or being born in Philly? I'm going to go, I'll let Bad Dog answer as well, but I'm going to go with the girl, finding out the girl's name is Tony, because if you're born in Philly, at least you can move out. If you sleep with a man, you can never take that back, Bad Dog. Can't happen.
I was going to say the same exact thing you did. You can always move the hell out of Philadelphia. You can't take back screwing a dude.
New York for life, man, always brings a good laugh. And Zenith, man, he says, I could be watching ESPN, but why you the homies alive? Been a fan of Rondale Moore, and he just ran a 4.29 into pro day, but yes, he's very fast. He is not going to make it to the second, mark my words. He would take a top 25 picks. Just watch. If we take Rondale Moore 11, I'll be pissed. And I like Rondale Moore as a prospect. If we take Rondale Moore, number 11, with his injury history, I'd be pissed. We cannot take him that early. The only way we could take Rondale Moore is in the second round. But, yes, I know he had a really good pro day.
No, a lot of guys have good pro days.
Yeah. I like him a lot, actually. I actually did a film breakdown on him, I think, on Fireside Giants. He's a fun prospect, but no way do you think about taking him in the first. Blue Scale, thank you very much. At this point, just draft best available. We killed free agency for need.
Yeah, it's about right.
I'm okay with that. If they feel like Devontae Smith is the best available player when they're picking and they take him, I'm okay with that. You better dress the offensive line real quick after that.
I have no problem with Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle 11.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't have a problem with Kyle Pitts.
The thing with Pitts, and I wouldn't have a problem with him either. If they traded Engram.
That's pipe dream.
Yeah, he ain't getting there. But if they traded Engram, I wouldn't have a problem with him either. But I think he's going like top 6, 7. I don't think. I've seen that the Falcons are potentially interested. I've seen the Dolphins are potentially interested. I've seen the Eagles are potentially interested.
Dolphins, that makes sense. The other two teams, that's why they suck. I mean, I know the Eagles won a Super Bowl, but that's why the Falcons are trash. Yeah. I mean, the dumbest pick the Falcons ever made. Matt Ryan.
I agree with you.
It's the same thing in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the Joe Flacco thing means that they believe in Jalen Hurts. And again, as one guy said, I'm an Oklahoma expert. I wouldn't go that far, but I do watch all the Sooners games. And like as I said to you last week, I didn't hate Jalen Hurts because he went to the Eagles. I did not like him before he was even drafted, before the draft. I said I wouldn't. Jalen Hurts is a fourth-round talent. Jalen Hurts is not even a quarterback. He's not. So I'll leave you with this. The last game of the season, I know the Eagles kind of tanked it. The dude was 7 for 20 for 72 yards and an interception.
Yeah, wasn't good. Wasn't good. Gonna read a couple of these, then we're gonna get back to the ones on here, guys. Scott, man, thank you very much. Slater in the first, Edge in the second. If Slater's there, a lot of people feel. I personally think Slater's gonna go 5. And I'm gonna have my mock draft up soon, but I think I'm gonna have Penny Sewell going to the Dolphins, actually, and I think I'm gonna have Slater going to the Bengals. I think he's gonna be off the board.
It makes sense.
Scott, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Blue Scale, thank you very much. I hate to say it, but if Barkley doesn't give us 1,000 plus yards and 500 receiving yards, I don't want him. He's got to stay healthy and he's got to produce. I'm not going to put a stat limitation on it, but he's got to stay healthy. He's got to be a big part of the offense, and he's got to lead us to victories. And that's it, man. That's period. I'm not a stat guy. He's got to produce. That's all I'll say.
Yep.
Brian, man, thank you very much. He says, let's get some thick cheerleaders out there and call them the Hog Mollies. That would work until Dave Gettleman left.
I really don't want that.
It might make the other team disgusted, though.
Hogs on the offensive line, okay. Hogs on the sideline in skirts, nah. It'd be like the Washington, the guys used to dress.
You put them in front of the opponent's bench, though. It might piss him off more, though. Maybe not the best of ideas.
Nah.
But Brian, thank you very much.
You want to see that? Go to a bar in New Jersey. You'll find it.
Sacred Dust, man. Thank you very much. Now that we signed Galladay, some Giants content creators I never heard of are showing up. Respect to you guys for being here from the start. Oh, Sacred Dust, believe me, you're gonna see another 100 Giants content creators come out of the woodwork.
Just wait. It happened with the Eagles. I was here in 2017. I was here in 2014, 15. I know how the Eagle fan base thinned out like my hairline. And then they won a Super Bowl, and it's like, ooh, look at this. I got a hair transplant or something, because then the content creators are thick with the Eagle content stuff. Yeah. They all showed up in 2018. It'll happen with the Giants, too.
Yep, absolutely. Michael says trade deadline live stream tomorrow. Maybe. If the Knicks do something, maybe I'll go live if they make a big trade. Tudo, man, thank you very much. Ciao, my best paisanos. How you doing, fellas? Just dropped in to pay my respects and check the weather in Jersey. And the temperature is rising in the Giants building.
Nice. Temperature is supposed to be 75 up here tomorrow.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 70, 75, 77 the next 2 days.
That's pretty good. I haven't looked at it. Well, it was pretty warm today here. I haven't looked, though.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that warm here. It was 53 and rainy, but it's been more nice all week. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to be in the 70s. I'll be running again. Let's go.
70s is nice.
Yeah, perfect.
Prince, man, thank you very much. There's at least 6 New York Giants jerseys I'll be getting. 6? Wow. I'm going to get a Galladay. I'll be the first to say it. I'm going to get a Galladay. And depends who we draft in the first round. Maybe I'll get a Devontae Smith if they draft him, or depends who we draft in the first round, but I'm going to get a Galladay for sure.
I'm going to grab a John Ross just for the hell of it. No,
yeah, you're not a big Ross guy, but you like the signing because it was cheap.
I love it. For 1 year, $2.5 million, I love it. That's nothing. That's zero.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. No. Blue Scale wrote Tony with a throw-up face. I don't know. Maybe that was in response to
back to the Antonia. And
yeah. No, I'll take being born in Philadelphia.
I'm going to tell you this: if you see a girl that ends up being named Tony, you should not be with her anyway, because obviously she's going to look like me. You're going to have this going on. Yeah, I mean,
it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. That's all.
Not good.
Deception. Thank you very much. How do you feel about Azeez Ojulari? He's an edge rusher that everybody seems to like, and he's definitely creeping up mocks.
We don't do well with Georgia players in the first round.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. He's moving up, though. A lot of people like him, but I just said it earlier, man. I personally would not take an edge rusher. And I want to go over the hole that we brought in free agency, but I have my reasoning. I would not take an edge rusher in the first. Dire Giants fan, thank you very much. Stop with the Rondell Moore. He's 50. Well, he's not 59, but he is injury prone. That's accurate. And Scott, man, Slater in the first, Edge in the second. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. For sure. It depends on what edge prospects are there. You don't force a pick either. If you're not in love with the edge rusher prospects in the second, you fill another need. But I'd be completely fine with taking an edge rusher in the second.
Slater in the first, Freiermuth in the second, trade Evan Ingram's ass away. Let's go.
That's not bad.
For that too.
That's not bad.
I like that.
That's not bad. Let's get to this one right here. Ethan, man, thank you very much. Stand up. Good day, Bad Dog and Chris. What do you guys think about Jabril Cox, Moses, St. Brown, Wow, a lot of guys here. Rose, Wade as prospects. We could be looking at them in the second or third round. Love your work from Australia. Appreciate it. I like St. Brown as probably a second round wide receiver prospect. I'm not a big fan of Wade. He was supposed to go much higher before this year, and he disappointed in college. Moses, I don't know a ton about. Cox, a lot of people like. He's another guy in the second round area. Out of that list, if I wouldn't mind St. Brown. I like St. Brown a lot, actually, if we don't take a wide receiver in the first. Yeah, I think that's my opinion. I don't know if you have an opinion on any of those guys, Bad Dog.
Give me a couple weeks and I will. Wait till I'm on vacation where I actually have some time to look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, it was a year ago that the world went to hell, and I had all the time in the world because I was working from home. So and there was no gym, so there was no sports, so I had a lot of free time. So give me till after I'm going away April 5th, so I'll be back April 6th. I'm just going away for that. So give me till like April 7th. We'll be ready to go. I'll be ready to go by the draft. Trust me.
There you go. But Ethan, man, thank you very much, man. But those are some prospects that a lot of people have been talking about.
I have heard of St. Brown, so obviously, but I got to get deeper into the draft.
Lamantia, man, thank you very much. Sup, Tana, just recently found out about you, and you followed me back instantly on Twitter. Such a genuine dude, addicted to your vids, Slater at 11. Well, I appreciate you for checking out the channel. Make sure you check out Bad Dog's channel as well. We do this show every other week. Link's going to be in the description below. And I'm glad that you found me on Twitter. I've been getting more active on Twitter, and hopefully some of you guys are coming over. As far as your question, he just said Slater at 11. Yeah, I'm all aboard the Slater train if he's there at 11. Unfortunately, you're going to see my mock draft. Lamantia, he's not going to be there, but if he's there, I'm all about it. John, man, thank you very much. If the Broncos pass on Parsons, take Parsons in the first, Wyatt Davis in the second, if he makes it there, Jabril Cox or Eric Stokes. I know we got AJ. No, I agree with you, John. I'm not against taking a third-round corner. That guy's injury prone. We also know that James Bradbury may not be on this team after 2 more years. He's going to be approaching 30. We may not resign him. We don't know. So I'm all for getting more depth. That guy's super fast. You get him in the third round, I'm for it. And I like Parsons. I just don't think the Giants are going to draft him because of the history. It's our good friend Alphabet. I think it's Alphabet. I always get confused.
That tad that shouldn't be. That's what that stands for. H.P. Lovecraft.
That's right. The
tad that shouldn't.
Metallica. Yeah.
H.P.
I'm still going to call him Alphabet, though.
Yeah.
Alphabet says, with the positive moves in free agency, the Giants are free to follow my rule of always drafting 1 O-line and 1 D-line player in the first 3 rounds. Number 1 goal right now is to get rid of Evan Engram.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Giants. $1 billion hanging out there like low fruit. Pick it.
Yeah, I think a lot of Giants fans agree with him there. And I agree with them also on the. I do think they need to draft an interior defensive lineman in the first 3 rounds this year. I want an offensive lineman. I want a defensive lineman, preferably in like the 3rd round with the defensive lineman though. L.A. Lou says you can find good old linemen in the later rounds because many are made through the coaching. Get the best available early. Hey, I'm completely for it. You asked me 5 days ago, I was saying I still want offensive line. But I was saying offensive line almost no matter what. I've come around to the idea because I looked at the Giants roster. I saw Sterling Shepard. I said Shepard gets hurt a lot. Obviously, we know that Golladay has an injury history, and I know that they could very well cut Shepard next year when it could save him some money. So I see that, and I say we're probably going to need another wide receiver, if not this year, next year. And if they feel one of these guys is great, as long as you attack offensive line often after that, second round is a must. I'd be okay with it. If they think he's a game-breaking wide receiver, I'd be okay with it. Ricardo, he says, what's your predictions on Jalen Hurts? I do not think the Eagles are 100% on him. Will we see Joe Flacco in 2021? Bader, what do you think?
They're going to draft Mac Jones. My prediction on Jalen Hurts is that it's going to hurt to be an Eagle fan in 2021.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy every freaking minute of that. Yeah.
My prediction on Jalen Hurts is they'd be dumb not to draft a quarterback.
My prediction? Pain. That's just what he would say. That's what my prediction is.
Sox, Arizona, thank you very much. Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks as always. Sox, man. Love Sox. Locks, Arizona. I'm definitely joining your fantasy league, by the way. I was just super busy tonight, but thank you for popping in the stream, my man. Baseball's starting soon, by the way.
A week from tomorrow, Yankees, Blue Jays. I had to be streaming it, but hey, I got to work. No.
It's
Too
crazy.
bad it didn't start April 2nd. We could have got that done.
And we got Damian Jackson in the house. He says, been here since the beginning. We've been through it. You damn right we have, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you for being such a great supporter. Mark says Ryan Anderson is better than you think. I like Ryan Anderson. I'm a big fan of Ryan Anderson. I thought it was that's one of my once I did a little research on the guy, it's one of my favorite pickups that the Giants made. They made a lot of really smart pickups, and that was one of them. I thought Afadi was real quick, let's go over the pickups real quick. Just make sure that I'm not falling behind in the super chats because I don't want to lose any of them on my phone. I think I got him. Well, all right, I'll pull up one more and then we'll get to it. But I'm a fan of him. So yeah, I'm with you on that, my man, Mark. Let's see what we got. Alphabet, he says, hey, what is the talk about thinner women? We Italian men like our women sturdy, looking and powerful so they can swing that cast iron frying pan with the knockout power. I know where you're going, my man, but I don't want to hog, okay?
I've always liked thinner women. I just, that's just me. That's how it goes. I don't want a sturdy. I'd rather have a frail woman hit me over the head with a frying pan. Cast iron skillet. I don't want a woman that can knock me out.
Yeah.
I want one that hits me and I'm like, do it again, baby.
Gonna get to Zenith, and then I'm gonna get to some of the pickups to talk about it with Baddog. But Zenith says no way more at 11, no chance. Say we grab Elijah Vera Tucker, very versatile offensive lineman from USC. What wide receiver do you guys think we could take in the second? I believe Moore will not be there. Some team will reach because of speed. St. Brown, somebody just mentioned earlier. I think he's a possibility. I don't know where they got Tony being mocked right now. That's another possibility. I actually like Kadarius Toney a lot. I'm not really in favor of taking even though I do like him a lot. The wide receiver out of LSU, I don't know why the names escape me. 6'4". The names escape me right now, but he is a good wide receiver. But I'm not really in favor of taking him right now because I feel like we got that guy now with Kenny Golladay. So if I'm going to bring in a wide receiver at this point, I think I'm looking for more of a separation creator. Some speed, a guy that you could use in different types of ways. So I'm not really a fan of him, but I think Kadarius Toney could be really good.
Type it in the chat. Terrence Marshall's the guy.
Oh, there he is. Terrence Marshall. Yeah. But I like Kadarius Toney a lot. I don't know if he'd be there, but that's a guy I really like as well.
Maybe the Eagles take Kadarius Toney 6th overall. Or Kyle Trask. Why not?
Blue Scale, I got you, and I think I got a little time to go over some of the prospects, so let's do that. So if you look at the guys that the Giants brought in this year, let's just go name by name. Devontae Booker, a lot of people ragged on the Giants when they made the signing. You said you paid by over $1 million, but I think he's going to be a solid backup running back. The other thing is you want to have a proven backup, and Gallman's probably going to go for more than that. They decided to go out there and get Booker because you don't know how healthy Barkley's going to be.
Right.
Booker's known to be a good blocker, good in between the tackles runner. Yeah, would I've liked $1 million less? Sure, but I like him as a player. I think he fits this team well.
It's $1 million.
Yeah, it's an extra
more to me, but to the Giants.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously Leonard Williams. We don't need to go over that. We know about Leonard Williams, but it was a 3-year deal. We both like that. John Ross, we've talked about. We like that. A 1-year deal for only $1.83 million against the cap. Yeah. A guy with a lot of upside, no risk there, high reward. Logan Ryan, you could argue maybe that they shouldn't have signed him due to his age, but you've seen his leadership throughout this free agency period. He's a guy a lot of people respect, had a great year last year. And when you look at the contract, it's only a 2-year commitment really for about $17 million, and then they could get out of it with basically no dead cap hit.
Right.
So
and that allowed him to pay for that dinner.
Exactly. Exactly. Golladay, we don't even need to speak on. Everybody's in love with the Golladay signing.
Not everybody, but 95% of the Giants.
Yeah, some people don't like the money, but
some people just want to say Gettleman stinks.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. Adoree Jackson, I love it. It adds a lot more versatility to this defense.
That was a big pickup.
Huge pickup. Might even be a bigger pickup when it's all said and done than Golladay. That's if he's good. That's how important I think he could be.
Our defense really has everything now. If it stays healthy, outside of like that pure, 17 sack edge rusher. But this, like I said, this team was near the top 10 sacks last year without a good secondary. With McKinney being hurt, and then Isaac Yiadom as our second corner. So sure, with Heldon McKinney and Adoree Jackson over there at cornerback too. The ability to blitz more, because again, remember they said they wanted to come from a bunch. They wanted to set a bunch of different things. They want to bring people from a bunch of different places. So now that allows you to do it. because you don't need to play as much zone. So it's going to be interesting. The Giants defense is going to be really, and your offense should be better. Then that in turn should make your defense better.
Exactly.
Defense can be really, really good next year. Defense can be top 5. You combine the fact that this offense should be better. We should be able to run the ball better with Saquon Barkley. Again, this is all things considered equal, going to be healthy. You got a threat on the outside with Kenny Golladay, moves Darius Slayton to number 2, makes Shepard even more effective. You got Kyle Rudolph in the red zone, right? So you're going to have the ball longer. You're going to have more. You're going to score more points. It's going to make your defense rested. It's going to make your defense better. Your defense ain't going to have all that pressure on it to say, hey, man, we can't give up more than 17 points because we can't score. That in turn makes your defense better alone.
And they're going to be, and they're going to be more rested.
There's no reason to think this team can't be top 5 or around top 5 in defense.
I think the defense could be awesome this year. And, and we'll even get to some of the smaller signings. Reggie Ragland, I thought was actually a really good pickup. They're paying him like $990,000. I think he was a former second-round pick. Good middle linebacker, good against the run. I think he replaces that Devontae Downs, Tate Crowder-like role. Or at least will compete to start. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they brought him back. I think he's a camp body, though. But Ragland, I think, could start, and they got him for nothing. Glenn's an upgrade.
Out of Alabama. I feel like he hasn't lived up to his potential, but I loved Ragland out of Alabama. I mean, in the rant video that I did with Eli Apple, I say right in there, I'm like, I want Miles Jack, or I would like a Reggie Ragland. I liked Reggie Ragland coming out of Alabama. So
a lot of people did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Patrick Graham, so he turns water into wine.
Yeah, maybe he gets it out of him. Glennon, we don't got to speak much about it, but I think he's an upgrade as the backup quarterback. Kyle Rudolph.
Unless he's in the victory formation.
Oh, we don't want him in.
No.
but he's an upgrade. I think he's an upgrade. Yes. Kyle Rudolph, an unexpected signing, but I thought it was a very pleasant, unexpected signing. You're talking about a sure-handed tight end, good blocker, red zone threat, a guy that seems like he's going to bring great leadership here. I think that was one of the more top signings by the Giants this year.
As you said on Twitter, it's going to be weird to have a tight end that can catch.
Yeah, exactly. It's
weird.
And then Afadi, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but a situational edge rusher. Adenabo, there you go. He had 7 sacks 2 years ago as a situational pass rusher. So
yeah, he had like 30 pressures in the last 2 years. The kid could play, and he was double teamed a lot.
Yeah,
he could really have a good year. He could be like that Romeo Okora type of guy that really has a breakout season.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot as a
Okora
pickup.
got paid.
Yeah, he did. Like $13 million a year.
Yeah, Okora got paid a lot.
Then we brought in that fullback Gillespie, not much to speak on there. They brought back the long snapper Kreider, Austin Johnson, 1 year, $3 million. CJ Board, Jonathan Harrison, the interior offensive lineman, Breland Speaks, who's kind of a camp body, and Ryan Anderson, who we both said we like. So, I mean, they filled so many holes this offseason, man. It's ridiculous.
Which again makes our draft. It doesn't really matter where we go.
Yeah. Yeah. And Blue Scale, thank you very much. Trade Engram for a Subway sandwich. It depends on the sandwich, Bad Dog.
It really does. I mean, tuna fish is nasty, so you can trade it for one of those. I don't. You're not gonna. But like the Italian mix, he's not worth an Italian mix.
No, and you're only getting a 6-inch sub. You're not getting a foot long either. You're getting a 6-inch.
And you're not getting a meal. Maybe like cheese. Maybe like a veggie sub. No, I like veggies. Maybe like a cheese sandwich or something.
Yeah,
Subway would be perfect. You ain't gonna get. I don't know if you have a DeBello's down there, but DeBello's can make a sub. You ain't getting no DeBello's sub for Evan Engram. You have a DeBello's down there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, the best, Jerry, the best.
NY Giants 26 says Bad Dog. Since Little Bad Dogs likes to model, you should have him model off your merch. Chris, where's the red hoodie? I'm gonna lose. Oh, the red hoodie will be back, my man. Red hoodie will be back.
Little Bad Dog only does that when he's dressed nice. I don't know where he picked that the hell up. I don't know why he gets a little like. I don't know where the hell he gets that from. Well, yeah, I do, because when I dress nice, I kind of got the same thing going on. Like, yeah, I look good. So I don't know. That was just funny. I don't know what the hell made him pose like he was a Calvin Klein guy. I was cracking up. Then of course I started doing it more, but
I'm gonna skip ahead real quick and get back to some of these, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I think I'm up to. Let me just make sure because I don't want to miss anybody. Sergio's got deleted. I'm assuming he asked for another BJ. Let's go. Well, I got DJ Smooth as the last. We're gonna get to you, DJ. Nobody super chat anymore. It's up to DJ, and now I'm skipping it to get to the other one so I don't lose him. Ricardo, man, thank you very much. Who is your sleeper quarterback in the upcoming draft? I haven't done a ton of research on the quarterbacks. We're not taking one. I know the obvious top 5, and Trask is probably 6. What I could tell you is I like Zach Wilson. I know he's not a sleeper. I like him a lot. Obviously, we don't need to speak on Lawrence. Everybody likes him. I'm not the biggest fan of Fields. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I'm not in love with Fields. I actually like the other guy more. Why his name escaped me right now? The guy from North Dakota State.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. I like him more. To me, he might have the highest upside of any quarterback in this draft. Trevor Lawrence probably still won, but his
I
upside,
actually think that's who the Eagles are taking. That being perfect.
I hope not, because I think he could be really good. I hope not, but he could be really good. Tudo, man, thank you very much. What do you call a Philadelphia Eagles football player in Brotherly Love City? Fruit punch. What's up, Tudo? Tudo, my man. Ethan says sweeping the Cowboys or the Eagles. I think we should sweep the Eagles. Hopefully both. Hopefully both. I think we definitely should sweep the Eagles.
Both. Let's go.
Both. 6 wins in the division.
Let's do it.
Ethan says the Texans are a joke of a franchise. Well, yeah. Yes, they are. So bad that their franchise quarterback wants to leave.
He may be leaving for 15 to 20, that guy.
Yeah. Let me just go here so I know where I'm at on the phone. I want to get back to some of these so they don't have to keep waiting. But we did the Texans. Okay, so we're back. We're up to Nicolo when we get back. Richard, man, thank you very much, man. If the Knicks pick up someone, will you be mad or happy? Now the Giants keep pulling the team together. I mean, it depends. I mean, listen, I'm not going to flip out if they make a big trade for somebody big. I'm going to hope they made the right decision. But what I'm going to tell you, Richard, is I don't think it is the right decision. I really don't. I think you need to continue to build with this young core, and I don't think it makes sense to trade. I'm not a small trade. I'm completely for. But if you're trading away first-round picks and young, good players in this core, I'm against it. I'm against it for a guy like Bradley Beal, even though I don't think Beal's getting traded. Eric says, since when does a hip flexor sprain make you injury prone? Did Golladay have a significant injury earlier in his career?
He had a strained hamstring his rookie season. He missed a few games, but then the other 2 years he was healthy. He missed one game either in 2018 or 2019, and he had 1,000 yards both seasons, and he led the league in touchdowns in 2019. So he's not injury prone. And
he played two full seasons worth of games the year before, and everybody said that he could have came back last year, and that was a big reason why the Giants were concerned, because he didn't come back and play when a lot of people felt like he could have.
Right.
For the Lions. So, sure, is there a bit of an injury risk? Sure. But is it somebody that you're bringing in that, I agree with you. I wouldn't necessarily call him injury prone. He's a player who's had some injuries.
That happens. Odell Beckham's injury prone.
Yeah. And if Barkley gets hurt again, I'd label him injury prone, but, hopefully not. Marcelo, Matt, thank you very much. Top offensive lineman available. If can't trade up, don't overthink. Hey, I don't blame you. Right now, that's our biggest. If you're drafting for need, you're taking an offensive lineman.
And I wouldn't trade up for anybody.
No, I'm not trading up. Not trading up. Carlos says Slater at 11, Fryermuth at 42, Creed Humphrey at 76, Deontay Brown at 116. Do you think Deontay Brown's going to fall to the 4th round?
I don't think Creed Humphrey's getting a 76. Creed Humphrey's going top 50.
I don't think maybe I'm wrong, Carlos Vids. I haven't been looking at the updated mocks, but Deontay Brown to me seems like a 2nd or 3rd round prospect. That guy seems like he's a good run blocker as a guard. He's popular. I mean, you get him the 4th round, I'll be jumping.
Either way, those first 3 rounds, I'd have a mess in my shorts.
Yeah, yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
DJ Smooth says, Chris Baddog, what's up? We need an edge, one more playmaker, and a guard. I want us to complete. You was right about Dave giving us help. He definitely gave us help, my man.
Yeah, he did.
And there's Sergio's, and like I said, he did ask for that. Sergio, I appreciate the $3 donation. Thank you very much. We're gonna get to Ethan, but I actually already read that one. So actually, we should be caught up then. Nicola will be next, and there he is, or she is. He is. I see the picture. Nicolo says Wayne Gallman had a pretty good year last year. Anything happening with him? And where do you think they will place in the NFC East? Yeah, Bad Dog. Wayne Gallman has had a slow market. It has not developed at all. I don't think he's going to be back. Well, we signed Booker. We don't have a lot of cap space as is. If he came back at $1 million, but I don't see that happening. I see teams still around the league that need running backs. I don't know their cap situations, but a team like the Steelers could certainly use a running back. Yeah, Falcons. There's a number of teams. So We're not getting Gallman back. I thought it was possible before the offseason started, but as soon as they signed Booker, we're not signing it. How much are you going to type into your running back position?
I have to imagine the Giants offered Gallman something. I can't imagine they just let him walk and didn't at least offer him the same thing they offered Devontae Booker. I would have been shocked.
Yeah, he might be looking for a 3 or 4 year contract.
There's a chance to be a borderline starter in places like Pittsburgh and Atlanta. So I think he'll get an opportunity someplace else, and I'll root for him. I mean, I liked him. He did a damn good job for us last year.
Yeah, he was great for us. Dennis, thank you very much. I usually only ask football questions, but my friend and I are in Long Island, run a channel, Mario Superstar Baseball Club. If you love real sports commentary, baseball, and good banter, you would love us. Love y'all. Well, Dennis, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. And yeah, check him out. Check out the YouTube channel over there, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Andre says Deshaun Watson to the Giants.
No.
No. No. I think Giants fans need to realize, Bad Dog, and maybe they don't want to. Daniel Jones is your quarterback.
Your quarterback.
Daniel Jones is your freaking quarterback, and I'm going to give you more news.
Deshaun Watson, the dude makes $40 million a year.
We just spent a boatload to help out Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and I'm going to give
you might be going to prison. You don't even know.
Well, that too. And I'm going to give you more news, Bad Dog, and you may not want to hear this. The Giants fans may not want to hear this, but in my opinion, if Daniel Jones is mediocre this year, but the Giants don't finish with a top 10 pick, he's coming back another year. That's my honest opinion. They don't have the money in cap space next year to sign a free agent quarterback. No. So the only way we're moving on from Daniel Jones after this year, in my opinion, if I had to guess, he'd have to be really bad, and the Giants would have to have a top 5 pick.
And then will be gone too, and Barkley will be gone too, and you start the whole process over again.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I
don't either. Let's talk about Russell Wilson coming here again.
Let's talk about Russell Wilson coming here every year.
Russell Wilson could take a pay cut. The dude's made enough money. He's married to, what's her name? Shara, whatever the hell is. I don't know how to say her name. But you don't need money. He's like Tom Brady. So come over here and play like Tom Brady did, Russell. We'll take you.
Evan Engram says, watch number 82 will wish his foot was broken when he sees me, Evan Engram. I don't know, man. Maybe you can teach how to catch.
I think Evan Ingram's got feet for hands, so maybe he would know feet.
Engram, maybe he can teach you how to catch, man. Maybe they're bringing him in to be a coach more so than anything else. The card coach says Engram is not worth a poop sandwich. Get rid of him. Sorry, Evan.
I agree.
Sorry, Evan.
Engram, you were not. You're welcome.
Ricardo, thank you very much, says, watch out for sleeper quarterback David Mills. I've heard about him. I haven't looked into him much, but I've heard about him.
Yes,
we're
not the sleepers.
Yeah. We're not drafting a quarterback, though. Tay, man, he says, can Engram have a bounce back year like Aguilar, who was a permanent meme with drop passes? It was never an issue in college. It's mental.
Go somewhere else. Cooper had the drops in Los Angeles, went to Dallas. They stopped. Aguilar had the drops in Philadelphia, went to Las Vegas, as weird as it is, and it stopped. Engram, no. If he goes somewhere else, he could be really good. My
answer to you is I hope. And I agree that it's mental. I hope. Am I going to bank on it? No.
Just trade him. He's not coming back here. Just trade him. Get the $6 million. Get a draft pick and be done with it. Get him out of here. He's a losing ball player. I got nothing nice to say about Evan Engram, but I still like Gary Sanchez way more.
Engram to me is just one of those players that just can't put it all together. It's been like, how much longer are you going to wait? It's been 4 years. His first year he had drop problems too, but we overlooked it because he was a rookie.
And he was injured the next 2 years.
And then he was injured the next 2 years. And then this year he had 11 drops. I mean, it comes to a point where, I think it is mental, and maybe it's the pressures of New York. Not every player could play here, but it comes to a point, Bad Dog, where, I mean,
it's costing us games, man.
It
can't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. Obviously, he's going to be on the team. I hope he does great, but am I banking on it?
He could be traded.
He could be traded.
That's a hot take. I honestly think he's getting traded during the draft.
Trini says he might be. Trini says, should the Giants take a gamble with Isaiah Wilson? I'm going to speak on this first. Absolutely not. You're talking about a guy that Joe Judge is trying to instill a culture here, right? This is a guy that was lazy as hell last year. It's why he's no longer a member of the Miami Dolphins. They moved on. I know he's a former first-round pick. I know he's a former teammate of Andrew Thomas. But Joe Judge trying to instill a culture, does that sound like the type of
What
player?
a shock. Former teammate of Andrew Thomas, lazy as hell. Does that sound like DeAndre Baker, anybody? We ain't doing that again.
Yeah, exactly. And no, he's not bringing him in. He's not bringing him in.
And Flores is a good coach. So it's not like you're on a bad team over there with a bad coach.
Yeah. It's not happening. And a pimp named Slickback says, how much faith do you guys have in Matt Barrett and Shane Lemieux? I personally think Shane is a backup, but Barrett I'm still not sure about. I'll let you speak on that first, Baddog.
I mean, it's too early for me to tell. To be honest with you, I mean, these guys weren't supposed to come in and start last year. Yeah. They had to. They were kind of pressed into it like everybody else. And again, they're rookies. They didn't have an opportunity to really gauge the speed of the NFL. They didn't have an opportunity to go through all the motions. They didn't have an opportunity to practice the way they normally do. They didn't have the rookie camp, the mini camp, the OTAs. They had no preseason games. They had no way to get acclimated to the NFL until you're in there.
Right.
So they didn't look – they played well at times, and they looked like rookies at times. So, you know, I was hard on Andrew Thomas at the beginning of the year because he was the 4th overall pick. We saw Andrew Thomas picked it up after he got acclimated to the NFL a lot more. And again, remember, the Giants' offensive line coaching staff was in disarray last year. They may not be the guys, but I want to give them at least an opportunity to have the full offseason and then get in there and see what they can do in year 2.
Yeah, my answer to that right now, Pimp, if I'm being honest with you, I can't confidently say I think either one's a starter right now. I think Pear could definitely mold into one. I don't have the answer. I think Lemieux can mold into one. Lemieux dropped to the 5th round for a reason. He's a developmental player. He shouldn't have been starting last year, if we're being honest. Yeah. He wasn't ready to be a starter. That's why he went in the 5th round. Could he eventually develop into a starter? Sure. But going into this year, in a year that's imperative, to find out what you have in your quarterback, do I want our guard to be getting burnt to a crisp like he was last year? Absolutely not.
He's not going to start this year.
Anyway. I hope not. But what I'll say is if the Giants team that he's the starter, I'll trust their judgment. I think Joe Judge is a really good coach. They brought in a better offensive line coach, apparently, somebody he trusts more, and they'll work the players out in training camp. But right now, if you ask me, I think Parrott or Solder is going to get that job on the right side, and I do not think Shane Lemieux will be in your starting lineup. And if he is, I don't think Hernandez will be. I think there will be another interior offensive lineman starting for the New York Giants going into the year. But am I confident with Shane Lemieux? No. The guy surrendered 5 sacks and like 500 snaps. That's ridiculous for a guard. So, no, I'm not confident with Shane Lemieux. And Musab, man, thank you very much. What's up, guys? Kind of off topic from the draft, but what teams in the NFCs do you guys despise the most? For me, it's got to be the Cowboys.
Eagles, and I shouldn't say not close. It's close. The Eagles for me. Yeah. Always the Eagles for me.
Yeah, and Card Coach, don't think I forgot about you. I'm just trying to catch up with all these, but it's Eagles for me. It's always been Eagles. The Eagles have given me the saddest moments of my life as a sports fan, probably, including basketball and baseball. I can't stand the Eagles. It's not even close for me. So it may change in 20 years, maybe the Cowboys in 20 years, but over the last 20 years, it's been the Eagles. Yeah. Evan Engram, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, 2021 Engram better than #demon season, #bag season, #out of my slumber. You're not. All I'm going to say, Evan Engram, I don't know what you're trying to say there. You're not better than anybody. You're trash. I'm just calling it how it is, man. I'm calling it how it is, my man. Dr. J, man, he says, I genuinely hate the Eagles. I actually hate them. Well, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should. They're horrible. Oh, maybe I did get these already. He said, watch out for the sleeper. I already got that one. And did I read Cart Coach's super chat? Yes, I did. Not worth a poop sandwich. Okay. So maybe I'm good here, actually. We got Tay already. We got Trini. We got a pimp named Slickback. Got Musab. And next up, we got Dr. J. And there we go. New York Giants, LA Dodgers, T-Wolves fan says, besides guard and edge, what are our biggest holes? I'll let you go on that, Baddog, and then I'll speak on it.
Honestly, I think those are our biggest holes. Could use another tight end. Could use right tackle. Could use some depth in the secondary. Linebacker, I think, is I think that's the biggest. A real impact linebacker. It's why I like Micah Parsons a lot. But I think guard and edge are definitely the biggest holes for us.
I'll agree with that. If I had to pick a third after that, I personally think I'd go interior defensive line because I don't think Austin Johnson or BJ Hill are going to be back here after this year. So that's my answer for that. But wide receiver is probably fourth if I had to guess right now. But, yeah, I think those are clearly the top two New York Giants, LA Dodgers fan. Blue Scale, thank you very much. Jones will be the next Manning.
Can only hope.
I hope, man. That's big shoes to fill.
Huge.
DJ Smooth, thank you very much. He says Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith at 11. We trade him for Rodgers if Jones sucks in 22. Where's the cap? Where are you getting the cap space from, DJ Smooth? Have you seen our cap space next year after all these signings we made this year? Where are you getting the cap space from to bring in a quarterback making whatever he makes, which I'm sure is like $35 million? Yeah, I don't see it happening.
He'd be my age, right?
I mean, I love Aaron Rodgers. You know that. I'm a huge Rodgers fan, but ain't happening, my man.
To answer your question, I'm more of a Waddle guy than a Smith guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. As am I. Waddle over Smith as well. I've been on the Waddle train for a while. I'm definitely a Waddle over Smith guy. But I wouldn't be upset if we drafted Smith. I think he'd be a good wide receiver. Entertainer Sauce Scott says, why is everybody being mean to our beloved Pro Bowler tight end guys?
I'm just speaking facts.
And beloved is not the right word. Yes, he is a Pro Bowler somehow, some way, but beloved, he's definitely not beloved.
No. Beloved by opposing defenses.
Yes, beloved by the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yes.
Blue Scale says Parrott is a starter. I think he's going to be. Him and Soldier is going to be the starter. One or the other. They're going to compete in camp, but I'd label Parrott the favorite right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully he gets it done, man.
Yeah.
And Mike, man, thank you very much. Bad Dog shit on DJ. Can't wait for him to eat shit.
Two things, Mike. Number one, is that your head or did your neck throw up? Two, pardon me for having an opinion. Sit down and rotate, bitch. How about that?
Hey, listen. I hope Bad Dog's wrong too. Bad Dog hopes Bad Dog's wrong.
That's right.
I'm praying Bad Dog's wrong. I want Bad Dog to be wrong, believe me.
Yeah.
So, Rolly, man, thank you very much. Chris, I don't know you realize, or maybe you don't want to talk about it, but the pressure is on for Jones. I definitely think the pressure's on for Jones.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. There's no excuse now. They went out and fixed all that, well, except for the offensive line. There's still questions there, but they went out of their way to get the guy weapons. There is no excuse. That's why they spend all this money on offense, so that they know one way or the other in 2021.
Yeah, no, the pressure's definitely on Jones. I'm not gonna like you may, because you've asked me to put limits like he needs to. No, that's not me. He's got to win, and he's got to win against good teams, and he's got to come up in big moments, and not make stupid turnovers. That's what I want out of him this year, and more big plays. But am I going to say he's got to have 35 touchdowns, 30 touchdowns for him to have a big improvement? No. He's got to mature as a quarterback. And hopefully with these weapons, he could do that. I don't know what type of team we're going to have. In certain games, we may be a run-first team. He doesn't throw more than 20 or 25 times. That's fine with me as long as you win. I'm not going to put stat limits on it. But, yes, he definitely needs to improve. And the pressure's on him. The pressure's on Garrett. The pressure's on Gettleman. The pressure's on Barkley. And the pressure's on Daniel Jones. Those are the guys with the most pressure.
The whole team this year. It revolves around Daniel Jones, but the entire team's got pressure on it to perform this year.
Yeah.
From the front office all the way down.
Yeah.
Coaching staff, the players, everybody. But yes, it revolves around Daniel Jones. It's just every team's success revolves around the quarterback. So he's going to have a lot of pressure. And he's following Eli Manning. So it's even more pressure.
Yeah.
The fact they took him sixth did not help. Again, if he was a second-round quarterback, it is what it is. But the fact that he was sixth overall added a lot of pressure to him.
Oh, for sure.
Automatically.
Ricardo, man, thank you very much. Prediction with more notable Giants cuts. I think they're done at this point. There might be extensions to free up more cap space this year or restructures. Jabril Peppers is possible. He's making $6 million on this year's cap. They could give him an extension to knock off some of the money on this year's cap. That's possible. I think it's actually closer to $7 million. I could see something like that, restructures, but in terms of cuts, no, maybe. I don't think so. I don't think anybody at this point. Maybe the punter. I know he was making like $3 million, but I doubt it. I think
a lot.
Yeah. But at this point, no, I don't think there'll be any more notable cuts. DJ Smooth says Daniel Jones. Oh no, the DJ Smooth is like I think he's. I'm gonna say this about. I love DJ Smooth, by the way, but I think DJ Smooth has bipolar disorder because all of a sudden DJ Smooth is all aboard the Giants train. All I heard going into free agency was how much he hated Gettleman, how much he hated Daniel Jones.
We should have waited for Justin Herbert.
Should have waited for Justin Herbert, and now he's telling me he's going to be Peyton Manning.
Hopefully.
Let's meet in the middle. Let's not set the expectations too high, but let's not be doom and gloom. Let's meet in the middle. Let's hope he's a good quarterback. Let's not go into the year saying he's going to be Peyton Manning.
Let's hope he doesn't lose his games.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, man, thank you very much. Chances of Penny Sewell falling to us, I'll say like 5%. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, I look at Miami.
He's not coming to us. He's not getting through Miami or Cincinnati. And
even if he got there, I think Dallas takes him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see him getting to us. I just can't. I can't see it. Brandon, thank you very much. I know you guys don't like Smith weighing 170 pounds, but I don't even think he weighs 170 pounds. He verbally said he weighed 170 pounds. But remember what he did against Ohio State in 1.5. He's a ridiculously good player. Brandon, I would take him. I'm okay with taking him. I'm not going to let his weight deter me from taking him if I feel like he's the best player. He's obviously a very good route runner. He's a good playmaker. If he's the best guy on their board, I'll support it, and I'll be on board with it. And I hope that he pulls out. He's obviously a guy with a lot of talent. No doubt about it.
Listen, the kid can play.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Durability might be an issue in the NFL, but he can play. The Giants take him. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Let's put it that way.
I prefer Waddle. I'll be the first to say it. I prefer Waddle. But I still say this. I said it a month ago when nobody was saying it. Now I'm looking at the mocks. All of a sudden, they all are saying it. I think Waddle's going to go before him. I think Devontae Smith's going to be the third wide receiver off the board. And I still think that. So I think it's more likely that Smith will be there than Waddle for us. But I don't hate Devontae Smith. Evan Engram, he says, just watch if I get traded or cut. I will make sure the entire Giants organization looks like clowns for letting go of the eventual best tight end in the league. Evan Engram's smoking something tonight.
I can tell you something. If he goes somewhere else and becomes the top 5 tight end in the league, fantastic. But you're not always going to succeed here. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Some sportsmen, some guys have come here. Like Randy Johnson's the greatest left-handed pitcher I've ever seen in my life. He was not really good in New York.
He sucked with the Yankees.
So some guys just can't play here. It just is what it is. There's a lot of guys that have gone to the Yankees and the Mets and have failed, and they went somewhere else and they played well. Or they played well, and then they came here and failed. There's a lot of pressure to play in New York. There is. Fans, media, they demand a lot out of their players. They do. They demand a lot out of their teams. They're passionate people. You know, we're a hard-working, blue-collar people in New York, and we expect the same out of our team. So when guys fail, they're going to hear it. And even when the Giants do good things, they hear it from the damn media, as we are right now. I mean, nobody wants to give the Giants any credit. So maybe
the funniest thing to me about the New York media, I think a lot of the fan base, I'm not accusing any individual person, but I think a lot of the fan base listens to the media, and they almost construct their opinion based off of what the mainstream media says. And a lot of these fans, and not many fans are complaining, if I'm being fair, but some are. And the media, all they said going in, Giants need a wide receiver. Giants need a wide receiver. Giants need a wide receiver. Then they sign the wide receiver, and then people start complaining about it.
Well,
you can't win.
So I put it on Twitter. I said, Gettleman haters. We don't get a wide receiver. Why the hell did you go wide receiver? Same Gettleman haters. When you get a wide receiver, why do you pay so much for a wide receiver? That's just a fact.
Yeah, the funniest thing to me about the Gettleman haters is no matter what the guy does, that it can be exactly what they wanted, and they will still bitch about it. Don't get me wrong, the guy's not perfect. He's far from it. But I don't know. I just feel like they'll never be happy. Hey, man, thank you very much. Daniel Jones will be a quarterback in 2021. Yeah, he's obviously the starter, man. LeVar, thank you very much. The true winner of this will be Sterling Shepard. You think he'll break out because we got Galladay? He's now in the slot. I think that's where he performs best, less pressure on him. I don't think he's going to have like 1,200 yards, but I think he could have a very efficient year and be very efficient due to the fact that we added Galladay and are getting Barkley back. You think about that, Baddog, and you think about the vertical threats we now have on this team, whether it be Ross, whether it be Galladay. That's going to open up those short and intermediate routes over the middle. That may give Sterling Shepard the opportunity to kind of beast a little bit this year.
What you hope from Sterling Shepard in the slot is that he's your guy that converts your 3rd and 7s, your 3rd and 5s, your 3rd and 9s. You know, that's really what he's there for. If you're not using Kyle Rudolph for that, but that's really where I think Sterling Shepard can help this team a lot is on 3rd down. Like I said, your 3rd and intermediate type of thing. I think that's really where he can help this team. I still think Sterling Shepard is a great. So again, he's a He's a Sooner. So
Yeah.
I love Shepard. He's got the best hands in a team. He makes a lot of – his problem has been, he's had some injury problems. He's had some concussion problems. But I love Sterling Shepard, and I do. I think he'll be a big part of what they do.
Yeah. I think if he can stay on the field.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a really good year this year. DJ Smooth says Daniel Jones got to have that Josh Allen season, period.
Just win games, man. I don't care what the stats are. Just win games.
This ain't fantasy football.
Just win games. I don't care what the hell the stuff. Just win.
Just win, my man.
Just win. I don't care if Daniel Jones has the same stats he did last year. We win 11 games. I don't care. Just win the games.
When the games come up big in the big moments. That's what I want for my quarterback, because that's what ultimately wins games.
Yep.
Tudo, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, what does a Dallas Cowboys fan loser do after his team wins a game? He would turn off his Madden NFL game and stop dreaming.
Yes.
You think how many Cowboys fans do you think, like the percentage that are alive, were alive for that last Super Bowl?
Oh, I mean, a lot. I mean, there's a lot of older Cowboy fans out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I just like to pick.
I just always love when they talk crap. They say the Giants have been irrelevant. I'm like, what the hell have you done? I was 19 the last time they won anything, man. I'm 45 years old, man. Come on.
26 years.
26 freaking years.
I was 9 years old the last time they won a Super Bowl.
Garbage. I wasn't even old enough to legally drink. I'm heading towards 50. I mean,
I didn't even kiss the girl yet when the Dallas Cowboys won their last Super Bowl.
I had about that. I was old. And you could still go out and drink when you were 19. It didn't matter. It's different day and age in 1995.
Mark, man, thank you very much. Who's your favorite edge rusher in the draft? For the Giants scheme, I really like Kwity Paye. I really do. I don't want to take an edge rusher, but I like Kwity Paye a lot for our scheme. A lot of people would say Rousseau. A lot of people now seem to be all aboard Olajari. I think Kwity Paye fits our scheme very well. But we kind of had Leonard Williams to fulfill that role right now.
Right.
Eat the man. Thank you very much. Favorite player to watch for the Giants in 2021? Go ahead, Baddog.
That's tough. Saquon. So he's healthy.
I like that answer.
Saquon.
Because you said that, I'm going to say somebody else, but that was going to be my answer.
Or maybe Daniel Jones.
I'll go with Golladay.
Maybe I can take a big bite of a shit sandwich, which I hope I do. Maybe Daniel Jones balls out. Please do it.
I'll go with Golladay, but I'll tell you what though, I think the one guy, and I got to see what we do in the draft first. But if we do not draft the wide receiver in the first two rounds, I think Darius Slayton could have a good year this year. And I think a lot of Giants fans are giving up on him. I think you put Slayton in the number 2 spot if we don't draft the wide receiver high in this year's draft. And now he's not getting number 1 coverage. Now you got these weapons all over the field. You got Barkley back. I think Slayton could have a good year this year for the Giants. I really do.
It's a good call. I think he could have a season like he did his rookie year. But
I think he could have a good year. John, man, thank you very much. RD was top 10 last year. Will be top 5 this year. We signed a bunch of dogs who punched the ball out. I think RD will give DJ plenty of chances to score. I'm in love with RD.
Call it, John.
Yeah. I'm in love with RD. So you got to figure as RD gets more aggressive, and it's going to be this year, believe me, it's going to lend itself to more turnovers, which is going to lend itself to easier chances at touchdowns for Daniel Jones. So I really think that pickup by if Adoree Jackson could stay healthy, that was such a huge pickup for this team. Such a huge pickup for this team.
Yep.
DJ Swoop, thank you very much. Listen, I had to see it and believe it. Faith in DJ. I love your faith, DJ. I love your faith, DJ. Roldy, thank you very much. He says, and if Jones isn't the guy, Mike should eat his shit. And we should move on. I don't care if we don't have a top 5 pick, trade up for a quarterback. If a team's willing to trade, we'll see what quarterbacks are there in next year's draft. I don't even want to think about it right now, though, to be honest with you, because he's got his weapons now. So now I think we're going to truly get to see whether or not he's capable of being a franchise quarterback, or at least possibly could be a franchise quarterback. So
confidence is the thing with Daniel Jones. It's all between his ears. Said it a number of times. Physically, he can do it. I have no doubt about it. That's why I said he'd be a top 10 quarterback last year. I didn't expect him to regress mentally, which he did. Some of that has to do with being hurt. Some of it has to do with being knocked down all the time. Some of it maybe has to do with a new system. Who knows? But this year, there's no excuses. There's just not. There's not. You better have a good year.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction for Daniel Jones, and I have never been a super high Daniel Jones guy. I think I've always been a guy that wants to give him a fair shake. I'm gonna make a prediction for Daniel Jones this year, and it's what I honestly believe. I think Daniel Jones is gonna throw 30 touchdowns in 17 games. I think he's gonna throw 30 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have a good year. With the improved weapons.
I don't care how many touchdowns he throws. Just the turnovers can't happen in the red zone. That's something he's got to clean up. That cost us a lot last year. So.
Oh, for sure. But
I got to be better. The ball's got to get there sooner. It's like I said. It's progressions and it's mental with him. It's not. People can say you don't have the strongest arm. I don't care. Daniel Jones is accurate. He throws a good deep ball. It's just. His delivery's late a lot of times, and sometimes on these crossing routes and these slants, it's a little behind the receiver. So, just no excuse. I feel like Daniel Jones is gonna have a solid season this year. Yeah, I thought that last year too, but I think this year he's gonna play. He'll definitely be better than he was last year. I have no doubt about that.
I think with Barkley back, I think Barkley has a ton to do with it. You look at the numbers; he's a different quarterback with Barkley. I think with Barkley back, the second year in the scheme. And now he's got two really good red zone targets with Golladay and Rudolph and a burner with John Ross. If this offensive line even plays close to average, I think Jones is going to have a good year. I'll leave it at that.
The ability to run the ball will help the offensive line. Because when you're not 3rd and 9, and 3rd and 11, and 2nd and 9, and all this other stuff, you play better. I mean, when Wayne Gallman was in there, you and I would applaud a 3-yard run. 2nd and 7 is better than 2nd and 12. That's one thing Barkley's got to stop. Barkley's got to stop dancing around thinking he can make everything a home run. Just lower your shoulder, get the 2 yards. Sometimes it needs to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Sometimes that's just what it is. Not every pitch is meant to be hit for a home run. Not every play is meant to be run for a touchdown. Yeah. He's got to be more decisive about going and just get the yards you can get. And if a hole opens up, awesome, then you're gone. But, like I said, I'd rather be 2nd and 8 than 2nd and 12. Just get the yards available to you and move forward from there.
Yeah. No, that's definitely been a problem of his the last couple of years. I feel like he's part of me feels like I feel like he feels like he has to put the team on his back. And I don't think he should feel that this year with the improved talent around him. Exactly. Blue Scale, thank you very much. That last person who commented, that was definitely Engram off alcohol. Rodney says, do you guys feel like Danny Dimes will have a great season like Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield type, where he will have a turnaround season? I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going into next year expecting a Josh Allen season, you're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, Josh Allen last year was one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the sport. He was that good. I'm not going to set those kind of expectations. I have said countless times that I do think Mayfield, and I don't know if it's going to be identical statistics, but I think Mayfield only threw like 8 picks last year. But I do think he could have a year like Mayfield, where Mayfield had a really nice bounce back season in his 3rd year with better talent around him, and he won football games. He won 11 games. So that's kind of where I'm setting my expectations. I'm setting my expectations as a fringe top 10 quarterback between 10 and 15. I'm not expecting top 5. I think you're asking for way too big of a jump. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope he does that, but I'm not going to set those expectations.
I can't say he's going to be Josh Allen. But what I could see for him, and maybe with a few more touchdowns than Eli threw in 2008, but a 2008 season like Eli threw 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He was very efficient with the ball. He had a good year, but he wasn't asked to do too much because he ran the ball down everybody's throat. So I can see Daniel Jones hopefully having one of those years. Maybe the touchdowns and interceptions are the same as they were as his rookie year, like 24 and 12, but he's just more consistent and doesn't fumble the ball as much. He did definitely improve that at the end of the year. He definitely did not fumble the ball as many times. And again, a lot of his interceptions had to do with Evan Engram. I mean, every time he targeted Evan Engram, it seemed like we turned the damn ball over. So, hopefully with a sure-handed tight end, the running game, and now a pure number 1 outside receiver, he's got no excuses, and he should be acclimated to the playbook. Jason Garrett can be more creative now. And again, you had a burner like John Ross. You got some things you can do there. So let's just hope Daniel Jones gets it together. And again, 30 years make a break for a lot of quarterbacks. You got your rookie season, then teams get film on you. They adjust. It's up to you to adjust. They've adjusted. Daniel Jones struggled. Now it's time for Daniel Jones to adjust and pick it up like Baker Mayfield did, like Dak Prescott did his 3rd year. Again, Josh Allen, really, I'm not going to ask him to do that.
Yeah. That's just asking too much. I mean,
it is. But
yeah,
big year for Daniel Jones.
big year. Ricardo, man, thank you very much. I'd rather watch you both than ESPN. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that, Ricardo.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. David, I got you on the phone. He says, if Jones puts up his rookie numbers consistently throughout his career, we can win Super Bowls. He can easily do that with these weapons at Barkley back. David, what I'll say to you is this. Without the fumbles, if you're just talking the touchdowns, INTs, yeah, sure.
I pretty much just said that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, granted, that was in 12 games, so that would mean, those interceptions would be a bit high for 4 more games. That'd be more like maybe if he could over a 16-game season, if he could average 27 touchdowns, 12 or 13 picks, yes, I think if you have a good team around him, you can be a very good football team. I'll say that. Without the fumbles, though. But thank you very much, David. I appreciate it. Abe, thank you very much. Trade Evan Engram and get Jordan in the 3rd. If we could trade him. And maybe we will.
I think we can. I just don't. I don't think we're going to get him for a 3rd, though.
Maybe a 4th.
I think an early 4th to Jacksonville. I really think that's logical. I really do.
They want to get him weapons. It makes sense. New York Giants, LA Dodgers, T-Wolves. Baddog hitting the Diet Coke like he hits the sauce.
Damn right. Let's go.
Jared Mercado says a report came out that the Giants like Devontae Smith. Yeah, I did a video on that a couple of days ago. That'll be crazy. I could see us getting him and going offensive guard in the second. I agree with you. I could see that. That's what I said at the top of the stream. Because, and I've been very outspoken for the offensive line, but the main reason why I could see it when I really thought about it and looked around this roster, you have a lot of injury guys that have had injuries in the past. I don't want to use the word injury prone. Shepard's kind of injury prone. But between Galladay, Shepard, Engram, you have guys that get hurt in this offense. But the main reason was I don't think Shepard's going to be here long term. And if he's not going to be, there's a vacancy there. And we're not completely sold on Darius Slayton yet. So, yeah, I could see it. If they're in love with the prospect and they feel like he could be a dominant number 1 wide receiver, yes, I could see them taking him. Yep. And Ethan says, Baddog, Pitts or Creed, who you going with?
Pitts, man. All aboard. I was all aboard the Pitts train for that 4.46. Everybody's talking about Pitts. I know where people got that from. Pitts is slow. Pitts is a 4.7 guy. Pitts high 4.6s. Now, granted, your pro day, you really could add.
It's probably a 4.55, not a 4.45.
Probably like a 4.5 and a half. But
yeah, still good.
Like I said, in November, a lot of my subscribers are saying Baddog, Kyle Pitts. And I'm like, you guys are insane. You don't take a tight end in the 1st round. You're never going to do that. And then I started watching Florida. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll take that guy. 6'6", 246, a beast, great hands. I mean, I said this in one of my streams, man. You got Galladay, Rudolph, Pitts, Slayton, Saquon. How you stopping that at the 7-yard line? Daniel Jones can run. So how do you stop that at the 7-yard line?
Now, you didn't even say Shepard. You didn't even say Shepard either.
Right, Shepard. There you go. So, I mean, it'd be amazing. That red zone offense would be tough to stop.
Yeah. DJ Swoon says, I still do believe we should have waited for Herbert. I'll give Davis credit, and I got to ride and die with the team.
There you go.
Let's go, my man.
Come around, baby.
Let's get DJ. We're gonna put a smile on your face by the end of the year.
And Jeffrey Abbey's going to be calling him Daniel Jones by the end of the
year. Luke says, great free agency. Who we drafted 1st and 2nd rounds? Again, it depends on who's there. There's no way of knowing who's going to be there. But at least in my opinion, like what I said, 1st round, it's either going to be a guard or a wide receiver. That's where my head is right now. 2nd round, depending, I could see both of those positions and maybe an interior defensive lineman. That's where my head is. I think it'll be a guard or a wide receiver in the 1st, a guard, wide receiver, or interior defensive lineman in the 2nd. That's where my head is. But thank you, Luke, man. I appreciate it. MY Giants 26, thank you very much. Last donation because I'm racking up my mom's credit card. No, don't do that. TJ threw 24 touchdowns in 2019 when the offense was decent. 11 when the offense was trash. Imagine him this year. I think part of that, and I agree, he had a much better year outside of the fumbling. But I think part of that, I think that was a strategy. I think the Giants didn't think they could compete with other teams throwing the ball like a bunch of lunatics because they knew they didn't have the offensive personnel to match up. And plus Barkley was out. So I think the Giants intentionally were a conservative offense because they knew they didn't have the weaponry. But I do think this year, with the improved weapons in the scheme for a 2nd year and having Barkley back, much like his rookie year, I think they're going to have a much more aggressive offense. And I expect him to throw more picks because of that than last year, but I also expect him to have more touchdowns.
I was saying last year, I don't care if he throws interceptions, throw the ball down the damn field.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to try to, and that's what we got with Kenny Galladay. I mean, he's a guy that's averaged over 16 yards per catch in his career. He's the highest rated receiver going up and catching contested balls. Like everybody's talking about, well, he gets no separation. But again, in the NFL, it's not about separation. It's about accuracy by your quarterback and fighting for the ball. And you have to throw the receivers open. Kenny Galladay is as good as anybody going after a contested ball, which is why I love him in the red zone, especially his height. It's going to mean a lot. It's a lot like Plaxico Burress. It really is. I mean, this is very similar to what they did for Eli. It's just a year later for Daniel Jones, but you got him as tall receiver. Plaxico Burress came here. Eli Manning was not great overnight. He still threw a lot of interceptions at Plaxico Burress, but he was better. And Burress was a big-time receiver for us. I'm not saying Galladay will be as good for us as Plaxico Burress, but it definitely helps Daniel Jones a lot. And that is exactly what the Giants need to see. So I'm excited, man. And like I said, Give me Kyle. I'm not going to get Kyle Pitts. I should just get off of that. That's not happening.
It's going to be a fun year, man. There's no doubt about it. Tudo said, as my old folks always say, don't buy any Christmas tree decorations unless you have the tree first. NMO, we need to fix the O-line first and foremost. I've been saying it for a decade. So you're not – I agree with you. So I'm a big offensive line guy. I always have been. DJ Smooth says, why can't we say he won't be Allen? You all put pressure on Allen when he got Diggs. Jones will get the same pressure and expectations. I don't think anybody.
Pressure on him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, though, Baddog. And go back, watch my video, DJ Smooth. I made it last year. I talked about the 5 quarterbacks who could break out last year. I said Josh Allen. I got ridiculed for it as my number 1. I was right about that. I'm a big fan of Josh Allen. But even I, who was a huge fan of Josh Allen going into last year, didn't expect him to have the year that he had. I don't think anybody had Josh Allen, in terms of his production, had those kind of expectations for him going into last year.
Yeah, he really stepped up. He was really good last year.
Yeah. Now he's going to pressure this year to duplicate that. But going into last year, I think people were expecting him to be improved, but not that improved. Andre, man, thank you very much. NFL rumor, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson want to play for the Giants.
I think he's becoming just kind of poking at the Eagle fans there.
Oh, okay. Also, Aaron Donald, Wyatt Teller, Quentin Nelson, Nick Bosa, let's go. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
God almighty. All right. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Next up that I got on here is Duncan, but I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Andre was the last one I pulled up, and we're good with Duncan. Duncan says, get me Galladay's successor in the first, then O-line in the second. Let's avoid that need for years to come. Won't cry if it's a top tackle followed by the defense, though. Yeah, I'm completely fine with taking a wide receiver. I'm not going to cry about it, but you better focus heavily on the offensive line after the fact if that's the route that they take. I'm still leaning that I think they should go O-line in the first, but I'll understand if they go wide receiver.
Well, one thing I'm noticing with a lot of people is you can tell that there's a lot of people are like, I want to go this way, I want to go this way, we'll take this guy. That just shows you the flexibility they have because they did fill all these holes. Yeah. And really, everybody that said what they want to do, none of them are wrong. None of them are wrong because the Giants really can go any one of those routes that you guys have said. They really can. It's what they've allowed themselves to do with the free agent signings. So, outside of maybe Rondell Moore at 11, you're really not going to get ticked off at what they do. Did they go where Slater fell there? Good. If they take Kwity Paye, good. If they take Pat Surtain falls there, good. If they take Jalen Waddle, if they take Micah Parsons, I don't think you're going to be angry with any of those guys.
The one thing I'm going to say,
or J.C. Horn.
I don't hate J.C. Horn. He had a really
good I'm saying. I mean, if Surtain and I forgot who the other corner is.
Caleb Farley, but he's hurt. Yeah, he's getting surgery. But no, I mean, my opinion, and maybe I'll be proven wrong. I don't remember if I said this earlier in the stream. I think I did, but I think they're going for an immediate impact player in the first. That's what I think they're doing. It's why I don't think they're taking Rousseau. He's labeled as a project. I think they're going for a guy that they feel like could step in and make a huge impact day one. Because based off this free agency, it only leads you to believe that the Giants they're trying to be contenders now. They're not looking for a developmental player, in my opinion, in the first round, but we'll see. Mike Green, thank you very much. Love you guys, man. Giants fan, we lit, bro. I appreciate it, Mike.
Mike.
Let's go, my man. Irish Rover says, I am not an Engram fan. However, I believe Galladay will make him better and maybe, just maybe, help with his mental issues. Let's hope. Go Giants. That's all you can do is hope.
That's all you can do. All the guy's got to do is catch it. The most basic thing. He does everything else well. Well, he doesn't really block very well, but he did get better with his block. He did improve.
He did get better there.
Yeah, give him credit for that. But it's just with him, it's just and it's bad enough to drop it, but the way he does it is like an epic fail.
It's always the worst opportunity. The worst
moments. Over at the most inopportune times. Like it's so magnified when he messes up. It's not like, oh, it's, 1st and 5, from the opponent's 37-yard line with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter and he drops it. Yeah. We're talking, inside the 10, he bats the ball up and gets intercepted. Or the Eagles game where all you got to do is make the catch and the game's over and he drops it. That's
how you know it's mental, though. That's choking. In big spots, you shrink.
It's Chuck Knobloch throwing to first base.
Yeah. It's like what's the Major League 2? Remember the catcher who couldn't throw it back to the pitcher?
Yeah.
In Major League 2? It's all mental.
It is all Rick Ankiel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the other guy? They couldn't throw it to first. John Lester.
John Lester.
It happens to a lot of guys, and maybe it is. Maybe the Giants need to bring in a psychologist or somebody to get him to catch the ball.
John, man, he says, to be fair to DJ, he held the ball long. It was because his wide receivers could separate to get open. Also, lots of drop passes. He has weapons. Now we'll see. Now we'll see.
We will.
And hopefully he does it, man. I think we're all rooting for him. And John, man, thank you very much. DJ Smooth says, would Dave hit on Herbert in 2019? He's legit. Well, Dave was never taking a quarterback. Here's what I'll tell you, DJ Smooth, and this is my honest belief. Based off of everything I heard out of the New York Giants, if Herbert would have been in that draft, the Giants would have taken him.
Based on everything I said in our first show ever, I wanted Justin Herbert as a New York Giant.
Yeah, I think the Giants were going to take him. The Giants were scouting him long before the draft. There were rumors that they really liked him, but it just didn't happen, man. Fire Earthquake, thank you very much. Not going to lie, I like Pat Shurmur's offense scheme better. That's fair. I mean, we're gonna find out this year. Because last year Barkley was down. That has to be factored in. Barkley is by far the most important player on this offense. We're going to find out this year whether it was the scheme or whether it was the personnel.
Right.
We're going to find out. Roddy, man, thank you very much. Does Gettleman lose his job next year if DJ doesn't succeed this season, even though he's doing a hell of a job this offseason? It depends on the team's performance. It's not just the quarterback. I mean, if Daniel Jones struggles and the Giants win 9 or 10 games, no, I think he should keep his job.
Daniel Jones is just one person. Dave Gettleman's job is not going to be attached to one guy. Obviously, that's the biggest guy, but no. If Daniel Jones is bad and the team underachieves, yeah, he could definitely be gone.
Yeah, no. If the team is bad this year, I think he'll be gone. He may retire too.
I think they got to be better than 500. If they play 17 games, some people say it's 17, some people say it's 16. I don't even know how many games they're playing.
I don't think it's confirmed yet, but they think it's going to be 17.
So at 17, they got to go at least 9-8, in my opinion.
I agree with that, especially after how aggressive they got in free agency. Yeah, I agree with that. Nikki, man, thank you very much. Hey guys, what's up? Any lineman is a reach versus Waddle. I'm a big Waddle guy too, Nikki. So
am I.
A pimp, thank you very much. First Slater, second wide receiver, third Ben Cleveland. I like Ben Cleveland. He's a mean hog. Fourth interior defensive line. Yeah, you end up with Slater, Rondell Moore, perhaps, or someone like that. And then Ben Cleveland. Yeah, I'd be very happy with that. That'd be a very good draft. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Frank says he drops it like a boss. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He makes him count. It's like a pitcher giving up a 600-foot home run.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Diaz. Well, you don't watch all the Mets games, but Diaz is notorious for pitching great, and then in the big spot, he gives up the home run. It's the same thing with Engram.
I got all this Chapman over here.
Yeah.
He gives some epic home runs.
Yeah.
To lose playoff series.
Yeah.
And after you had Mariano Rivera here for, 18
with Rivera, I mean, it's no matter who you replaced him with, you were going to be underwhelmed. Let's put it that way. You're not matching that. Caddy says Ross, Galladay, Shepard, Engram, Kyle, Slayton, Devontae. I'm just drooling. If they ever got him and the offensive line was okay, this offense could be ridiculous. Could be ridiculous.
Should be.
Yeah. Fix the line, man. Thank you very much. Remember, quality guards and other players will be looking for jobs after the draft at discount prices. Yeah, no, you're right. If there's money that we could, there's ways they can maneuver cap if they really want to bring somebody in. But yeah, they may be able to get a value guard.
They definitely could. Trade Evan Engram, get you $6 million.
There you go. maybe you trade Engram for a guard. But the thing is, I don't think many teams are looking at trade away a starting
for a draft pick. Just get $6 million in a draft pick.
Yeah. No.
You just brought in Kyle Rudolph. He's making the same money. Draft Pat Freiermuth.
He hit on the name. That was the catcher's name in Major League 2. Rube Baker.
Oh, in Major League 2. I thought you were talking about I think I saw Major League 2 once, and I didn't really like it. I saw Major League, the original one, probably 500 times. It's the best sports movie ever made. Oh,
Major League 1 is phenomenal. Major League 2, yeah, the catcher was all in his head like Knobloch, and every time he would throw the ball back to the pitcher, it would go over his head. And then they had him.
Yeah, I didn't really like part 2. You had Pedro Serrano. He was all about everything is kind of, what was it, Buddhism?
Yeah.
And then you had Charlie Sheen. He got all commercial, and he was throwing 85. And then at the end of the game, all of a sudden he brings his leather jacket. All of a sudden he throws 1,000 miles an hour again. He intentionally walks the bases loaded to get to the Jack Klugman or whatever. I'm like, this. Give me the first one. There ain't no reason to make an extra Major League. The first one is.
First was a classic.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Ethan, man, thank you very much.
Like maze, but you hit like shit.
Ethan, man, there's so many great one-liners in that one. Ethan says, if we put some sticky adhesive on Ingram's gloves, he would be a better player. What do you think about that tactic? I think it's illegal. And what would happen, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Little Giants, when he clapped his hands, he wouldn't be able to break it. That's what would happen.
That's okay, then they wouldn't have to throw to him.
That's a good point. He'd be a decoy.
I told you, he's got feet for hands anyway.
Roldy says, I'm sick of hearing people say Jones should improve like Allen. Josh's progress from year 1 to year 2 without a true weapon. Then year 3, he got even better. Jones regressed, so stop thinking because Allen had a big year 3, Jones will.
Listen, and again, maybe the guys in here that love Daniel Jones will kill me for this. I don't really care because, like I said, I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion is not going to be popular sometimes. People are always going to disagree. It is what it is, okay? Daniel Jones does not have the talent Josh Allen does. He doesn't. Let's be honest.
Listen,
not that guy.
I'm supporting Jones this year, and I'll agree with that. Josh Allen, to me, there's 2 quarterbacks in the league right now that my eyes pop out when I watch him. He's one of them.
Yeah. And the one play that he made, I forget the first playoff game that they had where he ran around the back of the he started a run. He was running around. He scrambled. He went to the outside. He started to run. He stepped back, and he found the tight end. I'm like, Daniel Jones can't make that play. He can't.
And that's not a knock on Daniel Jones.
It's just Josh Allen's talent is ridiculous.
There's like 3 quarterbacks that can make that play.
Right.
So it's not a knock on Jones.
Right. It's just that's how good. Nobody should expect Daniel Jones to be Josh Allen is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Expect that from him.
And Bear Man, thank you very much. If one of the quarterbacks are still on the board and team try to trade up for it, do you think Gettleman bites? And what would you expect for a trade? I think it depends on who's on the board, Bear. Like last year, if you remember, Bear, in the second round, supposedly the Giants got a bunch of offers where they were picking, and they almost traded out of it, reportedly. But they liked McKinney too much to not to trade down.
Because they didn't think he was getting there.
They didn't think McKinney was going to get there.
I think that was the whole thing is if McKinney's there, we're not trading it. If McKinney wasn't there, they were.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing this year. Like, I don't know which player they're going to like. I'm not in their war room. But if they love a couple of prospects there that could potentially be there at 11, and they're not there, and there's a great trade opportunity, they'll trade down. But if they love a player, I don't think they're going to trade down.
I think that's something we got to fix. I think when we do the draft this year, we should be in the war room.
I agree with you on that.
Okay.
I agree with you. Give us a little bit of access at least.
Come on. Let's go.
Yeah. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. He says, I feel like Herbert it's Eli Manning. I feel like the Chargers have our quarterback.
DJ is a big Herbert fan.
Yeah, huge Herbert fan.
I am too. I love it. Like I said, that was the kid I wanted when we first started talking about this. When we first did our show, I said, "Give me Teddy Bridgewater as a stopgap quarterback. Draft Justin Herbert, let him sit on the bench for a year, and then you move on from Bridgewater and Herbert's your guy." That was the plan. Well, I thought Herbert was coming out in the draft. He didn't, and we don't have him, so we can't worry about it.
We got Daniel Jones. You stop thinking about Herbert. Daniel Jones, our quarterback. We never had a shot at Herbert.
No, we didn't.
Frank says Rudolph hasn't dropped the pass in 2 seasons. It's a question. Yeah, I think he's only dropped 1 in the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He's one of the most sure-handed tight ends.
So I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. First pass to him, he's going to drop. Get it out of the way, Kyle. Get it out of the way. It's coming. Because they're going to say he hasn't dropped the pass 2 years. He's going to turn around. Boom, going to drop and go, up. He hasn't dropped the pass in 2 years, and I drop. Just get out of the way.
We're going to go for about another 10 or 15 minutes, guys, but I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. If you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. More importantly, go to that link in the description. My mods will post the link as well. Going over to Bad Dog Sports. We'll be over there next week on Friday, apparently. Harrison, thank you very much. That's the Knicks and Lakers.
Yes.
Harrison says
that's my first day of vacation. I can't wait for next Friday. Can't wait for next Friday. I need that bad.
Harrison says, even though Jones got worse statistically this year, I think he got better as a player. PFF also agrees. I mean, I'm not a huge PFF guy. I'll be the first to say it. But what I will say is I did see areas of improvement. I agree to a certain extent. I did see areas of improvement. I thought he got better in terms of holding on to the football. He definitely sensed pressure better. It's still not exactly where I need it to be. And the other thing I'll say is, and I knew he was going to get off to a rocky start because of everything. The pandemic, new scheme. It's not just him. All the players had to learn it. Then when Barkley went down, I knew he was going to get off to a rough start. The offensive line, I knew was going to struggle the first half of the year. But there was like a 3-game stretch there. And one of the games was that Eagle game where he had that incredible run. There was like a 3-game stretch there before he got hurt. And then he came back. He wasn't the same player, obviously, because he was limited. Where I said, yeah, this guy turned the corner. I'm not saying that he's Josh Allen, but where I said, yes, I'm starting to get confidence in this guy. So I do think when he was at his best last year and had he not gotten injured, I think he would have finished stronger. I do think that he definitely started to show signs of improvement.
I think there's signs of improvement and there's signs of regression. I just think that he regressed in certain areas and he improved in certain areas. He definitely had less turnover-worthy plays. That's what PFF went on about, that he had less turnover-worthy. He was definitely better at protecting the football as far as not fumbling as much. But again, I think a lot of his deliveries are late, and I will always go back to that 2-point conversion against Tampa. I mean, Deion Lewis was open for a long time, and then he threw it late and behind him. It's just that, to me, that typified the way he played last year. I said this a million times, man. Daniel Jones physically can do this. I know he can. Hopefully, with Saquon Barkley back a year, with everything lined up for Daniel Jones to succeed, hopefully he's just confident. The first game he played in the NFL against Tampa, he was confident. To me, he believed in himself, and he just played on instincts. He ran what he had to. He made the throws in the end. He had a great game. He won the game for us.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, then defenses start to get film on you a little bit. And sometimes you make those throws and guys are jumping your routes, and all of a sudden it gets in your head like, oh man, I gotta be careful. And then you start to hesitate.
Yeah.
So again, I think physically he can do it. Mentally, we gotta see.
Yeah, we'll see. Tudo, man, thank you very much. Why did God invent the Philadelphia Eagles football team? So their players could have some physical contact in the brotherly love city. Tudo, man, appreciate you for being here, my man. Abe says Harry Doyle makes the movie. Oh, that's the announcer, right?
Yeah, Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker, yeah. Bob Uecker's hysterical in that movie. I don't remember if it was the first or the second one. I think it was the second one. But yeah, it was, where he's so miserable and that he's gonna have to have a rocket up his ass to catch that one. And then and the first one when he's pretending that there's crowd noise because nobody's there.
Yeah,
he was really funny in that movie.
Favorite line of that is, let's see if the Indians got 1 run, 1 hit. That's all we got, 1 goddamn hit. You can't say goddamn in there. Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway. That's my favorite from the first one.
Ball 4, ball 8, ball 12.
Yes, of course, that's the famous, like, just a bit outside and try the corner of this.
Hey, man, thank you very much, man. The annexation of Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's the Little Giants reference. Hey, man, thank you very much. Frank says, tell Jones put some snot on that ball when he throws to Engram. Got to put anything on it you could find.
Right.
Good call. Make it stick to his fingers.
Maybe you should put some Vagisil on there. How's that shit on your chest? Bartol, Crisco, Vagisil. Any one of them give you 3 to 4 inches dropping the curveball. That's
such a great movie.
It is fantastic.
Brandon, man, thank you very much. Just watch Evan Engram lowlights this year. That must have been a 20-minute video. He caused 5 interceptions, a fumble, a game against the Eagles, and countless drops. Pits, please.
We don't even need him. Just get Engram the hell out of here.
Yeah. I think most Giant fans want to move on from him at this point.
It's just $6 million. He's not coming back here. The Giants are not giving that guy. How much are you gonna give Evan Engram? We have no cap space. A lot of our cap space is chewed into anyway. How are you gonna afford to pay him even $6 million a year?
We're not. No, he's not going to be. This is last year with the Giants.
So trade, and somebody will take that guy for a fourth. I'm not an Eagle fan. I'm not going to say, "Ooh, trade him for a top 10 pick. He's got talent. Trade him for a first pick." No, give me Jacksonville's early 4th round pick. Let's say this $6 million. No, that's.
Well, maybe that is what will happen.
I'm just done with Engram. I can't have another year of it. I will put up with Daniel Jones turning it over and getting mad at him, but he's a quarterback. That stuff happens. I can't with Evan Engram. I can't have another year of Evan Engram.
I just don't see how, even if you like Evan Engram, I don't see how they're going to be able to extend that guy. Unless he comes back for very little money, I don't see how they're going to be able to extend that guy. And somebody's going to offer him something.
So I mean, so it doesn't make sense to keep him. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
You'll lose that $6 million anyway. So I don't know.
Marcelo, man, thank you very much, man. Chris Sims rarely misses on draft evaluation. Highly recommended. I know if I'm not mistaken, in 2018, he had Lamar Jackson as the #1 ranked quarterback when nobody did. And this year, he has Wilson above Trevor Lawrence, which I like Wilson. I actually liked when I saw him. Like, he's got balls there. I'm a fan of Wilson. I still wouldn't do it. I had no problems with it, though. Where my problem was with his evaluation, he had Mac Jones 3rd. I don't know if I agree with that.
I honestly think it's Lawrence, and then you got Wilson, and then everybody else is down
there. Yeah, we'll see. Ethan, man, thank you very much. He says, who is better quarterback, Jarvis Landry or Nathan Peterman? I'd probably go with Landry. He's thrown a number of touchdowns in his career. So is Odell Beckham. They're probably both better than Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, Nate Peterman stinks.
Remember him with the Bills? He was horrible.
Yeah, he threw like 5 interceptions in like less than a quarter.
It's horrible.
Jay Peterman. That's a Seinfeld reference if anybody watches Seinfeld.
And thank you guys. I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Give you guys some quick shout outs. You see the card coach is in here. I see MYB is in here. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. Chris and Baddog. What's up, MYB, man? Thanks for popping in, man. And we're going to be on his channel on Friday, man. I appreciate you guys for being here. Guys, I think Jones has
Friday, not this Friday.
Next Friday. Guys, I think Jones has elite ball placement. I mean, the metrics say that he does, but we'll see. I mean, there's no excuses after this year. They got him the weapon, so we'll see how he does. Gene says, stand up. What's going on, my man? LA Sports says, 2 best YouTubers right here. Appreciate you both so much. I appreciate that, LA Sports. Thank you very much.
Why can't I unblock that guy? Every time I try to unblock him.
Did you change the server thing? Are you still – because I tried to unblock somebody and I used Safari. I used whatever the other search engine is, and it worked. It didn't work with the other one.
Okay, maybe I'll try Chrome. On my phone, it's Safari, and then it always goes to the app. So maybe I'll try Chrome and see if I can unblock it. I don't know why the hell that's happening. It's very strange. It happens with another one of my guys too. I don't know why that's happening.
And what's up, man, Evan? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Card coach says it's my kind of team, Charlie. It's my kind. There's another good quote.
Yeah. My kind of team, Charlie. And his voice is great.
Brown. Logical, man. Thank you very much, man. He says, I still have faith in Engram. I understand wanting to move on, but he at least draws attention from safeties and linebackers. Hey, man, I'm rooting for Engram, okay? I want Engram to do great, and I in a way, I feel a little bad for him. I think at this point, like, he is, like, hated. But he deserves it. So I hope he goes out there and proves everybody wrong. I really do.
I just don't want him here. I don't remember a giant player infuriating me as much as Evan Engram, like just frustrating me as much as Evan Engram. I can't remember one that really ticked me off like that because I know that guy's got a world of athleticism and talent. And the most basic thing he's not doing.
Yeah. It's
agitating to see that guy wide open and the quarterback puts the ball right in his hands and he drops it or he knocks it up in the air and it gets intercepted. And like I said, the most inopportune times. They're just magnified when he screws up.
No. And I just want to say hello to a couple other great subs that said hi. Taco, Big Daddy. Thank you guys for being here. Tony, we are going to close this out. I can't say thank you guys enough, man. The chat was packed all night. We had over 1,000 people the entire stream. And I'm just looking forward to get this thing cooking, man, as we approach the draft. We'll be doing this every week. Draft's in almost a month. So it's going to get here before you know it. I'll have a mock draft up some point this week. We're going to start to dive into a lot more draft coverage as we wrap up free agency. Kind of waiting on some of those contracts to be able to do like cap videos talking about next year. And then I'll dive full force into the draft. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the support you guys always show. I say it all the time. This show has grown tremendously. We say it every week. And it's all because of you guys. And my channel and Baddog's channel have grown a lot over this past month. And it's because of you guys. So can't say thank you enough to each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for being here. And we'll be doing the same show on Baddog's channel next week. Xavier, thank you very much. Big shout out to Chris and Baddog, two best YouTubers. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, again, you guys have a great rest of your night or morning. Now it's 12:11, but have a great morning. And Baddog, close it out, my man.
Yeah, hey, I said it at the end. Pretty much, I forgot what episode this is. This is like 119 or so. I have to go back and check. But I've said it for a lot of episodes. Just wait until we're good. Well, we're not too far away now. This is going to be a fun season, and I'm glad that all you guys and girls will be there to watch it with us. And for the first time in a long time, I believe that we have high expectations for this team, and with good reason. They had a hell of an offseason. Let's hope that they continue it in the draft. And again, it shows how great this fan base is, that even with the horrible seasons that we've had, how much support we have on this channel, how much it's grown exponentially. We'd never be here without you guys and girls. We owe everything that we have on YouTube to you guys and girls. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, man. You guys are the best. We love you. So
thank you guys very much. Ethan says Super Bowl predictions real quick. Again, I got to wait till the draft to really give you a real answer. But I mean, if you're going to put me on the spot, I don't think the Chiefs get back. I think they're going to have problems with the offensive line. I know that they signed one, but I'm going to go against the Chiefs this year in the AFC. I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to do it before the draft, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not picking the Chiefs. I do like the Colts. I don't know if I'll pick the Colts to go to the Super Bowl, but I do like the Colts. They're definitely one of my top 3 or 4 teams in the AFC. I like the Ravens as well. I'm going to pick the Colts. I'm going to go with a sleeper in the AFC. I'm going to go with the Colts in the AFC. And I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to go Colts-Rams.
I was definitely going Colts. I was definitely going to go Colts there. NFC's tough. I don't think there's a really dominant team in the NFC. You know what? I'm going to take the Bucs. The hell with it.
I can't blame you. Yeah.
Colts, Bucs. Why not? I mean, Wentz didn't get his chance to match up against Brady. How ironic would it be if Wentz won the Super Bowl with the Colts?
that'd be funny as hell.
If you win the Super Bowl, I hope the Colts do.
Yeah, Bills got a shot too. I see a lot of people saying the Bills for sure. They got a great defense.
Carson Wentz to win a Super Bowl with the Colts. I just think that would be the ultimate dig. Philly.
I think he's got a shot. They got a really good team. I think he's got a real shot. But Baddog, do what you do and let's close it out.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. As always, for the Entertainment Talk Sports, Bad Diggity Dizzle, and we'll catch you next time. Peace!